This show is brought to you by Booking.com. Since 2010, they've helped over 1.8 billion vacation rental guests find places to stay. That's billion with a B. Head over to Booking.com and start your listing today. Get seen, get booked on Booking.com. Well, I'm so excited because today I have Melissa Coleman, the Mrs. Derm on Instagram, joining us on the show. And I just have to say that I'm obsessed with your account. I think that you are such a breath of fresh air when it comes to all things skincare on social media. And I know our listeners are going to be I know they're going to find everything you provide to be so useful. So thank you so much for joining us.
Oh gosh, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I hope I'm helpful.
No, you're amazing. I mean, I'll share a little bit of why I think your account and page is so useful. I never really did skincare until, honestly, like a couple years ago, but only because I found it to be such an information overload.
Yeah.
And I felt like there were so many products and there's always a new product and someone's saying it's like a miracle and it does all these things and there's all these influencers peddling all these products.
Next week there'll be another one.
Yeah, and there's so many treatments and it just seemed so exhausting to me. And I was able to ride on the fumes of youth for quite a while. and then the car,
I'm stealing that. The fumes of youth.
It just skidded to a halt, I'll tell you. I moved to Puerto Rico at 30 and I'm 35 now. And I started to see in the mirror. I always had freckles, but I started to just see it more became just like brown and splotchy.
Yeah.
And
they all start to grow together.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And my husband, very cutely, sun damage is like one of his kinks. He's like he loves freckles. After we met, he actually texted me and was like you check so many boxes. And one of the things was like freckles.
Oh,
I know, it's sweet, but it's actually kind of high stress for me because I'm like, well, to have a freckle, you have to be able to see the skin around it. And when it all becomes brown mush, we have to start clearing this up. So anyway, long story short, I'm kind of on a journey to figure out my own skin. And your account has been so useful because I think you have such a no BS approach to skincare and all of this.
I think to the anger of some.
Really?
Yeah, I think to the anger of some because it's counterproductive to marketing and sales, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm sitting there saying, and I can prove it, right? I have the goods to back it up.
Yes.
I can show my skin.
Mm-hmm.
I can show, followers who, followed me for a while and decided to take control of their skin. And I can do it without an eye cream and I can do it without a toner.
Right.
And I can do it without, switching products every week. And I can just use the same 5 or 6 products every day for years. I think it's annoying to some brands and, know, and to probably to some other skin influencers out there who do a great job at, hey, I'm obsessed with these eye patches. And I'm like, and then they get sent to me like, hey, so-and-so, I was obsessed with these eye patches. I'm like, well, they're great. They don't do anything, but they're fine.
Yeah.
Right?
If they make you feel good.
Yeah. And one of my closest friends is a makeup artist up here. And always the eye patches. He's like, oh my gosh, they want them put on. And he's like, I have to take them off. I have to wipe all of that off their face. He's like, what is the deal with the eye patches?
Yeah.
But there is some psychological belief that if we put a sticker with hyaluronic acid on our face, somehow it's going to affect our wrinkles, our fine lines, how our makeup wears that day. And meanwhile, my friend Quinn is like, so I'm wiping everything off. He's like, those are great, but I have to take everything that you just did. I now have to remove in order to do your makeup. So,
well, and I think there are so many things like that are just such BS. And my BS radar just or my antenna goes up around a lot of that stuff as well.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why it took me a long time to actually really be motivated to try to figure it out because there was just so much. One of my favorite things that you say is completely useless are facials.
Oh, completely. Oh God, I know.
And I have so many friends that are like monthly facial is crucial. You got to spend $200 a month and go in.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
What would happen if you didn't? Your face would fall off if you didn't go in and have someone vacuum it for $200.
Right. Or just apply a bunch of creams.
Patrick's like, I love a facial. My husband is like, they're my favorite. He's like, the amount of rashes I treat from women who have had facials.
Yeah.
Because there's an acid and then there's a cream pour it on top of the acid. And then there's the perioral dermatitis that comes from the multiple acids and then the creams and the steam. And he said it's just this like soup recipe for your face. And then they wake up a day or two later and they have a rash.
Yeah.
He's like, and of course they come see me and he's like, so I love a facial. He's like a cardiologist that encourages people to smoke.
It's good for business.
Yeah. He's like, just keep it up. Like, let me know who's hot in town.
Right. Oh,
I'll send people their way, but
so funny.
It's just not, they don't do anything.
Yeah. So let's talk about Patrick. Let's talk about how your account started for the uninitiated. How did you become Mrs. Derm?
So I had a different account for almost 2 years. And the name that I had used, I didn't realize was partially trademarked by another account. Like no one had ever pointed out to me that, or confused me with anybody else.
Yeah.
And so I had to change names due to like, that. And I felt really bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. We're so sorry. And so my friend Amy, I was like, I need a different name. And my friend Amy was just like, what about Mrs. Derm? And I was like, that's cute.
It's so cute.
So it all started because I would go to Patrick's office, and I don't go there as often as I think people think I'm there. I'm there quarterly.
Okay.
Unless I'm stopping by to like pick up a box or pick up some Retin-A or something. But his patients would see me.
Yeah.
And I'd be getting a peel, which was like my big thing for a long time. Or Botox or getting my lips done and walking out with like, an ice pack on my face. And they would find me on Instagram.
Okay.
Because they would never talk to me. But they would find me on Instagram and they would be like, hey, I saw you at Dr. Coleman's office today. And I didn't want to say anything, but like, what did you do?
Okay.
And I was like, oh, a peel or Botox or filler or laser, whatever it was. And they're like, well, how, I want to do that. Like, what order do I do? Like, I was going to do this. And I have a personal Instagram page that's, private to my friends and family and whatever. And his patients were finding me.
Okay.
Which is fine. But like,
it's still,
in order for me to answer the DM, like I wouldn't see the DM from them because they weren't friends. It would go in a request folder. And then when they would go back and see Patrick, they're like, I messaged your wife and she doesn't answer me.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was like, I'm just going to start a page where his patients can find me. And he would do that. He would be like, well, just here's this page. Go find her. She'll answer whatever questions. And it just kind of grew from there.
Amazing.
I think because, he's always been a dermatologist that doesn't sell anything.
Okay.
He sells 2 products in his office.
Yeah.
He's never sold a cleanser. He's never sold a moisturizer. He's never sold an eye cream or a neck cream or anything like that. He's always come from this school of thought that all of that is garbage.
Really?
Like it's all shit.
Yeah.
And, what you actually need is Retin-A and you need, like if you have rosacea or things like that, like you need specific creams, or if you have pigment issues, you need certain creams.
Right.
But they sell Retin-A in office and they sell a sunscreen, an American sunscreen, but they would sell a sunscreen and that was it.
That's it.
And so his patients sort of loved him because they didn't feel the big sales push. Like you weren't walking in and being like, well, here's a wall of Nutrafol, and here's a neck cream and here's a balm and here's, all of these things. And so I've always adopted his mentality that like, you don't need it.
Right. Right. Well, and I think that not only do you not need it, but it can actually be counterproductive because a lot of times I would be like, I'm going to be a skincare girly and I would buy the 10-step system and I would start in earnest and then 9 days into it, my skin would be like on fire.
Oh yeah.
And then I just give up because I just think, well, I can't handle it. And anyway, I think it can actually be irritating. It actually can
super irritating.
Yeah, make you look worse.
So, I always tell people, I'm like, let's stop playing like polypharmacy on our face, right? Like, I talk to people every day who ask me what my toner regimen is. And I'm like, and I posted about that today, actually. Not only do you not need a toner for your skin, you don't need a toner regimen.
Right, right.
Like, what are you toning?
Right.
What is untoned?
Right.
Why is your arm toned? Like, why don't we have body toners then?
Right.
Like, where's the toner for our neck? Like, I never understood that. So
it's also predatory and it just takes advantage of women's insecurities. And I don't know. It's actually when you look at how much of those kind of products are on the market, touted by so many people, and people think are crucial and needed, that are really useless. It's just kind of infuriating. It's like if the money that women spent on useless skincare products could just be put in a savings account and it could accrue compound interest over time, we could just resolve so many financial issues.
Oh God. I mean, I had a consult with a woman a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't post about it because I don't know that I thought that people would be able to figure out who the Derm was, but I just wanted to be very careful that nobody would be able to figure out who the Derm was. And she sent me a picture of her morning skincare routine and her afternoon skincare, or her evening skincare routine. And the morning routine was 14 products.
Oh my gosh.
So I get out a calculator and I go online because it was like all Skin Better, the medical grade bullshit. And I get out a calculator and I start adding up. And there was like evidence that she followed me in this routine because there was Bioderma micellar water. There was a European sunscreen in there. And then 12 other products that I like, the plated exosomes and like the serum. I mean, it was a nightmare.
Right.
And the evening was like 8 products long.
Oh my gosh.
And again, evidence that she follows me because there was Retin-A in there. There was the compound in there. And then that was it. And then more exosomes for nighttime and more. And the sad part is that she was probably 60, 65. She needed a facelift. That was like she needed a facelift.
Yeah.
And I said that to her. I was like, none of this is going to do anything for you. Like, you need a facelift.
Yeah.
And I said, but if you enjoy it, it's not irritating your skin. It's not taking food off your table.
Right. It feels like self-care.
It feels like self-care. You want to do 12 different things to your skin in the morning and 8 things at night. And it was literally 20 products. And, go for it. Like, it's no skin off my back.
Right.
And she said the morning routine was $1,400 worth of skincare. And the evening was like $9. And she said to me, the problem is that it is taking food off my table.
Oh my gosh.
She said, I go through this every 2 months. So she had a $700 a month skincare habit. And she said, I can't take like my annual vacations and whatever. And I was so mad at the Derm, and I knew the Derm, that I wanted to call them and be like, she needs a facelift.
Right.
Like, she needs a facelift. And so some Derms, I feel like, get upset with me too, because I'm like, be a better doctor. Like, be honest about what these women actually need.
Yeah.
And if they're surgery averse, great, but don't sell them this in lieu of it. If they're like, I'm a never facelifter, fine. Like, not everybody has to have one, but don't sell them this. Like, this is bullshit.
Right. Right.
And now they're paying me to ask me which of those products they need. And they need like 5.
Right. First of all, that story is
it's awful.
It's really sad. And I think that it's probably, there's so many people who are in credit card debt and all this stuff for treatments that are completely useless.
Can't you Klarna your Sephora order these days?
I mean, you can Klarna like a Subway sandwich. So I'm sure you can Klarna Sephora. I think what a great way to structure this would be like, let's go from what we're doing daily, and then we can talk through treatments that we might be doing like quarterly or yearly. And then we'll get to surgery, which is, maybe twice in your life or something like that. Because I just think that across all of this, there's a lot of confusion. So let's start with skincare.
Guys, I've been screaming from the rooftops about the new Clean Simple Eats clear protein sodas, okay? The cherry lime flavor tastes like a Shirley Temple. It is so, so good. I love the carbonation and also the frosted lemonade. That's my other favorite. They've come out with these new flavors that have truly blown my mind, and they're back in stock. Everybody needs to be ordering.
No, it's absolutely incredible, Chandler, what they've done with their clear protein drinks. So they have 90 calories and they're 20 grams of clean grass-fed protein. I'm obsessed. They're so easy to just grab and go. You don't mess up your kitchen. You don't dirty a blender. You can just take one on the way out the door and boost your protein for the day. I recommend starting out with the variety pack so you can see what flavors you love. I love just their traditional clear protein drinks, but the sodas are also delicious. Clean Simple Eats is truly revolutionizing how easy it can be to hit your protein goals. Everyone, go to cleansimpleeats.com. Use code POPAPOLOGIST10 for 10% off your order. They also have the best protein powders on the market. They're Simply Vanilla or their chocolate brownie batter. You blend it with a little ice and water. They taste like Wendy's Frosties. Incredible products. Cleansimpleeats.com. Use code POPAPOLOGIST10 for 10% off your order. So
Right.
let's start with skincare.
Okay.
What does someone need to have great skin on a daily basis? What is our daily skincare?
If you can tolerate it, some people can, some people can't. A vitamin C serum first thing when you wake up in the morning.
Okay.
So people with rosacea have a tough time with vitamin C. Tends to irritate it. I don't use it. I have rosacea.
Oh, you don't use it? Okay.
It irritates me.
I mean, your skin really is perfection. I think it's better in real life because.
Well, thank you. I did not feel that way this morning when I woke up, when the garbage truck woke me up at 5 a.m.
I just think it's more impressive when you see perfect skin in real life because everyone looks like they have perfect skin on Instagram, you know? So it's
a little filter.
Yeah, I mean, I love a Paris. On a bad day, I love a double Paris. And I
double Wait, where's the new one? That's the fade. There's a fade filter.
Why are we doing the fade? Or it makes us look worse before we have to look.
No. I think the fade, or you do the simple. You can do the simple and then the Paris. Now, I don't Photoshop or I don't filter.
Right.
Well, I don't Photoshop, but I don't filter photos on my page.
Right.
So what you guys see, unless it's a professional photo that someone else took and they're going to edit,
of course,
whatever. But what you see is kind of what you get for I always say for better or worse, my skin is my skin that day. But I don't use the vitamin C. I have rosacea. It tends to irritate it. There's some movement in the vitamin C world, it seems, that the newer formulas that are coming out are less irritating. They're the non-ascorbic acid formulas. It's the ascorbic acid that's usually pretty irritating to people.
Okay.
If you can tolerate it, it should be the first thing. You wake up in the morning, vitamin C on your face, neck, chest.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to wash your face in the morning, great. I don't.
You don't? Oh, interesting. So, okay, this is shocking. No cleanser. No. Wow. This is groundbreaking information. Because you know what? This really gets into how lazy I can be, but that was half my battle. It's just not wanting to deal with the water and the drying.
I don't do it. I wake up and I wake up because I don't use the vitamin C. I wake up and I'll mist some Evian on my face.
Okay.
And then I'll put a moisturizer on or a serum, or a hydrating serum. I'm not a serum person, but I do like a hydrating serum. And then, vitamin C moisturizer if you need one.
Okay.
Which I always say if you need one, because people over moisturize their skin.
Okay.
And it causes a lot of, you'll see it this fall. You'll hear people talk about how bad their perioral dermatitis is. And it usually is from packing on, La Roche-Posay Cicaplast or Augustinus Bader's, the Rich Cream, or, those really, really heavy moisturizers are really, really aggressive for your skin.
Interesting.
And they feel nourishing, right? Oils feel nourishing.
And it kind of looks dewy afterwards.
Right. And you press it in and you're like, oh gosh, this is awesome. And in reality, most of them are too heavy for the average person. If you're walking around, I live in New Orleans, I don't even use a moisturizer half the time.
Okay.
Because it's so humid there. But if you're living in New York City or Chicago and it's January and you want to dye, you're probably going to need a little bit heavier of a moisturizer, but you're pretty limited. If you're skiing, if you're in, really dry northern climates, the heavier moisturizers are great if you need it. Right. But most people still, I would challenge you, let's see where you're at in January. I'll give you a hydrating serum and a regular moisturizer or a lotion, which is different than a cream. And let's see how you do. I bet you'd do fine.
With just one of any of those or none of them.
Yeah.
So vitamin C, if you can tolerate it. Moisturizer, if you feel like you need it and it's not making your skin worse.
Yep.
We're still not anything required, basically. Let's do the sunscreen after we do the full routine. So that's AM. Vitamin C, more optional if you can tolerate it. Moisturizer, sunscreen. And then at night, is there anything else in the morning?
People that have rosacea. So you start getting into prescription creams. If you have acne, you would put your topical on. If you have rosacea, a triple cream. Most people don't use a vitamin C and they would put that on in the morning instead.
Okay.
But no, if you're an average, normal skin, right, which is, I would tell you, the majority of the population, although the majority of the population tells me that they have sensitive skin, and the majority of people have reactive skin based on putting on toners and acids and moisturizers, and then their skin blows up.
Right.
And then they're like, oh my gosh, I have sensitive skin.
Right.
Well, you did it. Now you do, but like you probably didn't to begin with.
Yeah, like if you irritate your skin enough, it will start to be sensitive to those
now
irritants.
It's mad, but in reality, it's really reactive to what you're doing to it.
Okay.
And then it's like, well, we'll pack on a heavier moisturizer to combat the inflammation we just caused.
Right.
Then you're just stuck in this like shitty place with your skin. So that's morning. Evening, wash your face.
Okay, so evening we are cleansing.
Yeah, we're gonna cleanse.
Okay. And is there a specific, like, should we be doing a glycolic cleanser? What kind of cleanser is necessary?
So there's not a universal one.
Okay.
So nobody has the same skin. I have a very specific routine. Like morning is, what I do. And then I usually shower, in the early evening, late afternoon or early evening, which is like, I think a holdover from my single days.
Okay.
Like I'd get home from work and shower and then go out.
Okay.
So I still have that like 5 o'clock shower mentality. And I get out of the shower, I put on a hydrator, like a hydrating serum, which is like a hyaluronic acid serum, or the Experiment makes one called the super saturated, or there's a couple of them out there. And I put a moisturizer on. That's the last time a moisturizer touches my face for the entire day. Okay. And then it absorbs in, cook dinner, watch whatever on TV. And then at night, it's Retin-A. Well, I have melasma, so it's a pigmentation cream or pad for me. Retin-A.
And that's it. So
you can do other things. Like if you're over 40 and you want to do the estrogen cream thing, I do that around my eyes. If you have rosacea or things like that and you need a prescription treatment for your skin, that's beyond just a sort of normal skincare routine, but that's it.
That's it. So we're really talking about in the morning, vitamin C if you can tolerate it, moisturizer if it's not making your skin worse, sunscreen. At night we're saying cleanser, Retin-A, optional, like if you have some sort of dermatologist prescribed.
If you have melasma, if you have rosacea,
you can do some hydroquinone.
You can do any of those things, and then a moisturizer if you need it. But
everything else
is everything else.
And by that, basically useless.
Yeah.
Or making your skin worse.
I mean,
this is not an expensive routine.
No.
Like this is a pretty inexpensive routine, especially with how long Retin-A tubes last.
Yeah. You can do, you can get expensive, like, you can buy a $200 vitamin C. And I would argue that, people bitch about SkinCeuticals and it smells like a hot dog and whatever. It's still the gold standard in vitamin C.
Well, okay. So I was on a vitamin C, but my provider for like all like injectables and all the fun things, she said to me, she's like, your vitamin C is not good enough. And she made me get the SkinCeuticals.
My understanding is always that it's hard to keep vitamin C stable. And I don't know that SkinCeuticals does a great job because it oxidizes over time, but a lot of products do. So vitamin C tends to oxidize over time. Certain acids will oxidize over time. Certain pads will oxidize over time. But to me, the understanding, and I know that there's companies that are going to come out of the woodwork and say, that's not true. We've kept it stable. Ours is $20.
Right.
Yada, yada, which is fine if it works for you. I get a lot of people that say they don't like the way that SkinCeuticals smells. They don't like the way the Prequel one smells or whatever. And to me, it's like, you look at SkinCeuticals, I think it's 11 ingredients. And so they chose not to put a perfume in there.
Okay. Right.
To cancel the smell of the chemicals. So yeah, it smells, but like it smells like healthy skin.
And also you can smell it for 2 seconds.
Yeah, get over it. Like it doesn't care. It doesn't smell throughout the day.
Right. My husband has never said you smell like a hot dog. Probably would like that.
But it's 30 seconds until it absorbs and then get over it.
So if we really get down to it, it just sounds like it's really sunscreen and Retin-A.
Yeah.
Are the key things you need. And one thing that you said on your account that I loved was you said sunscreen is to prevent damage and Retin-A is to help, like wind back the clock and repair the damage that's been done.
Yeah. If I could go back in time and pick one product at 10 years old, right? It would be, and I think some women now are really savvy about this with their kids because the focus is so strong on it. But if I could pick one product, it would be sunscreen, right? For the rest of my life. If I could only have that one at 10.
Yeah.
Because then we're preventing the majority of the damage. At 46.
Yeah.
it is, if I could pick one product, it is Retin-A.
It's Retin-A.
It is absolutely, without question, Retin-A.
When did you start Retin-A?
I was old. I was late to the game.
Really?
I was late to the game.
I mean, that's just so great though, because what it goes to show is you don't have to, like, if you can get a couple years under your belt, like, you can really have incredible skin. It's not too late.
So I met Patrick when I was 31, and I met him, I was smoking. Like, I was literally smoking a cigarette, I think.
My gosh.
Yeah, when I met him. And I was a smoker for 22 years.
Okay.
Like a pack a day. Awful. Oh, it was
Wait,
awful.
this is shocking information.
Like, and I would light one.
Why don't you have not a single line?
Those are genetic. You're going to get, I mean, like, if you get those, you're going to get
those
them
are
whether
genetic.
you're a smoker or not.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I have a lot of followers that are like, I've never smoked ever, and I still have them. And I'm like, oh, they're genetic.
Yeah.
So if you get them, if you have a predisposition towards them and you smoke or use straws, you're going to have them, they're going to get worse. Right. But if you don't, look at your mom, look at your dad, if they don't have them.
Right.
And they smoked, chances are you're not going to get them to any great degree either. And I remember him saying to me, like, you could start on Retin-A. Like,
oh my gosh, wait, that is so funny.
Can I introduce you to this great product that, is the fountain of youth in a tube? And I was like, not interested. Like,
that's amazing.
Like, just don't care. Dude.
Yeah. You're on the fumes of literal youth.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, I look great. Like, you wouldn't be talking to me if you didn't think I was pretty. Totally. So obviously I don't need that. And that sounds tedious and that sounds boring. But I remember being like, but I'll do Botox. Like, that seems interesting.
Yeah.
And years went by. And
oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And you guys got married
when I was 33.
Okay.
And still, I was just like, I would go in for a peel. I loved a peel.
Yeah.
I was big on Botox. I loved filler for I still have lip filler. We would put it, in my temples. I had cheek filler at one point. I think it's probably gone by now. And then, but still no on the Retin-A. Yeah. And then I quit smoking.
Okay.
10 years ago.
Okay.
And he said to me, I'll never forget it. He said, I'm not going to be able to fix what you're doing to your face.
Whoa.
And that was really eye-opening to me, because I was like, wait, what do you mean?
Those are not words you want to hear.
And he said, I was sitting outside. We had this like covered breezeway at our house. And by then I was like down to like 2 or 3 a day. And he came outside and he was like, you got to stop. And I was like, no, it's fine. And I was like, it's just like, just 1 or 2 a day. And he's like, eventually I'm not going to be able to fix what you're doing to your face. And it was literally this, I kind of thought, I think a lot of people think that they can incur a ton of damage in the sun or alcohol or smoking or whatever. And they can just go in for a laser.
Right.
And it'll fix it.
Yeah. You can
at some point the damage is so cumulative that, and he was correct. He cannot fix what I did to my skin. I mean, I'm 46 years old and I'm getting a facelift a month before my 47th birthday. Yeah. Because this is a function of all this collagen loss from years of smoking.
I mean, you look amazing, I will say.
But it could have, like, I think about that now and I was like, oh man, why didn't I quit? Like, why didn't I quit at 31 when I met him? Like, or at 25, or, like, why did I continue this habit for 22 years? Yeah. And like aggressively continue it.
I think it's like probably because it was one of the most addictive.
It was cool. It was cool. I looked cool doing it. My argument was like, I look cool. Like, I look cool smoking. Right. Everybody looks cool smoking when no one looks cool smoking.
For sure. Well, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if that's the case, but definitely is the better path to not. And so, okay, so you get off smoking and you get on
Retin-A at 38.
Okay, and then how long until you see a real change in difference? So we recently moved into this new house, and Kagan walked up to me the first night we're there, and he goes, "Where are the gummies?" All of our stuff is in boxes, but you better believe that in the special box of items I knew we would need for the first night was a bottle of early bird gummies.
I cannot even tell you how much I have needed these in the last month. I had debilitating period cramps, okay? And taking an early bird gummy helped me so much. They're basically a part of my weekend routine now, and I just swear by early bird so much.
These are a multi-use product. You can use them if you just want to enjoy a meal a little more, relax into watching a show a bit more, or have the best night's sleep of your life. There are 30 gummies per bottle. I always use basically a half at a time, so a bottle will last a couple months at least. You guys, earlybirdcbd.com, use code POPAPOLOGIST for 20% off your order. We swear by Early Bird CBD, and you will absolutely thank us. Okay, and then how long until you see a real change in difference?
It's kind of twofold. So you see a difference in your skin in terms of, it seems after you sort of get over the initial hump, and some people struggle with that hump more than others.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problems. I went, on it. I don't remember having any purging or peeling really to speak of. But I also live with somebody who can sort of troubleshoot as I go, right? So I'm like, this is, I have a dry patch and here's a steroid cream or whatever. You start to see results, in a couple of months.
Okay.
Things start to feel a little bit smoother, a little bit tighter, and that tighter you usually attribute first to it being a little bit dry because it controls the oil production on your face, right? Which is Retin-A was FDA approved for acne, which is its initial purpose was to treat acne.
Interesting.
By controlling the oil production on your face. And then it's almost what you don't see. You just eventually stop seeing the big signs of aging.
Interesting.
So you see it, it'll help brown, it'll help sun damage a little bit. It'll help melasma a little bit. It'll help, acne, pore size. We can debate that.
Right.
But what you stop seeing is, it's not going to stop nasolabial folds from forming.
Right.
That's genetic.
Right.
And the damage on them has been done.
Yeah.
So like the under eye crepiness, it's not going to help that.
Right.
But like, I feel like at some point I kind of stopped aging so aggressively.
Interesting.
And so you look in the mirror and you're like, and you look at your friends, who don't use it, or you look at people who don't use it, and you can kind of tell who uses it and who doesn't. Like you can kind of say this person, there's just a difference in their skin.
Yeah. I definitely think I can tell. It's funny. Our oldest sister, we have 5 sisters in our family and 1 brother. And our oldest sister is, I think she's 41 now. And anyway, she's never done Botox. She's just a little more granola than the rest of us, but she's like a hyper fixation on not going in the sun and also on tretinoin. She has amazing skin.
I bet.
To this day, she has incredible skin and she just takes really, really good care of it. And I think that, there's like a density almost to her skin.
Well, it builds collagen.
Yeah.
So far be it from some estheticians out there to admit that ever.
Right.
Because there's a day that goes by that I don't get a DM from somebody who said, my esthetician told me today, I need to stop Retin-A because it thins the skin. And I'm like, show me the study. Like, I just want to see one study. So there was a great study that was done on, I think it was like 65 people. And it was in Asia. And they did a 4 millimeter punch biopsy on them.
Okay.
And they measured, collagen and their levels in their skin. And they put them on Retin-A for 6 months. Nightly use, pea-size amount, whatever. They hauled them back in at 6 months and did the same 4 millimeter punch biopsy on their cheeks. And there was no recorded collagen growth at 6 months.
Okay.
And so they sent them back another 6 months and brought them back in. And at a year after that punch biopsy, it showed significant growth.
Really?
So it is the marathon.
Yeah.
Like it is not.
It's the habit. It's the
I did Retin-A for 2 months. I didn't see any difference. I quit. Well, yeah, I mean, you're probably not going to.
And you also are you very much drive home on your page the point that you have to do it daily.
You have to.
Can you talk a little bit to that?
So Patrick would tell you, which is what he's always told me. So I'm just going to quote him on this. If you do Retin-A every other day, because some women are like, oh, I can manage it every other day. I can't manage it every day. Patrick would say it doesn't have the efficacy of it. It quarters it. So
every other day is not half, it's a quarter.
Right. So if you do it every single day and your sister does it every other day, the results you get in a year will take her 4 years.
Wow.
To get there.
Okay.
And so you can do it every other day, but it's tough to get past the irritation stage when you're doing it every other day. It's much easier to get past the irritation stage when you're doing it every day.
Okay.
Every other day, your skin builds up retinoid receptors, right? And so I always liken it to like a brick wall. So you build this brick wall every single day, and if you skip a day, those bricks start to come down. And so then you build more bricks up the other day, and then if you skip a day or two, those bricks come back down. So you never get there. You never get to the point where you're really building up those receptors to your skin because you're not treating it every day. And, every day for a year. And then people are like, well, I need to take a week off for a laser. Does that mean I'm starting from scratch? No, because you've built up
all those
retinoid receptors over time.
Interesting.
So doing it every other day, it's like all retch and no vomit. Like you just don't get there. But women are terrified of Retin-A.
So actually my Retin-A got delivered today. I've never done it consistently. So I'm starting on Retin-A today. And I was told to do it once a week, the first week, twice a week, the second, 3 times a week, the third, and just like really slowly to get, I guess, to kind of like not try to minimize irritation. What are your thoughts?
What's wrong with being irritated?
Well, I mean, I think if you feel like you look bad, it's hard to stay consistent with it because you're trying to, obviously the purpose is to look better. But then if you feel like it's making you look worse.
I don't know. I mean, so.
Because your advice, just start every day.
Just go.
Just go.
Just go. Just go for it. Just go. Pea-size amount. Steer clear of, around your nose. I still will get peely right here on my chin every once in a while. It'll, for whatever reason. But just go.
Okay.
Like you do it once a week, you're peeling the next day. The next week you're doing it twice a week, you're peeling, then you're spreading out this like.
How long does it take to get to the point where really our skin is used to it and not reacting? This
varies by person. Some people, a lot of people I know never have a reaction. I never had a reaction.
Oh, wow. That's
I did great. Some people react pretty violently, initially. What I would say to people is a lot of people, when they say a pea size amount, they literally mean get a pea.
And this is a small amount.
It's a small amount for face, maybe a pea size amount for face, half a pea for the neck. But I think what people do is they start out too strong. So a lot of derms like Altrino, which is just a brand name Retin-A, but it's a little bit more emollient. It spreads a little bit better, but it starts at 0.05.
Okay.
And so people will get this Altrino prescription and it's 0.05 and their skin just hates them.
It's too strong.
I can't use it.
Oh, wow.
I use 0.025.
For real?
For real. It's all I use.
Okay.
And have for years and years.
Yeah.
So people it's either too strong or they're using too much.
Okay. And
so when I talk to women who are like, I'm not doing well, I'm like, well, show me how much you're using and show me the tube. And invariably it's usually one or the other. It's like a glob on their finger. And I'm like, oh my God, like you could cover like
your face is going to peel off with that.
Yeah, it's going to melt off. Like I bet your skin's mad at you.
Right.
But I also think, and this isn't to ever blame the patient or to blame the consumer, but most people do not read directions.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
We sell
I'm not a fan generally.
A compounded pad from melasma. And
which I'm on day 7 of right now.
They're great, but I will get, in with the package comes instructions. It's like a single swipe on the face.
Yes.
And women, I'll be like, well, how do you use it? And they're like using it like a Stridex pad. I'm like, oh my God, I bet you're, but I bet you're irritated, right? So all of these things are active ingredients, right? So things like hydroquinone or arbutase or tretinoin, vitamin C even. These are all active ingredients. They are irritating to the skin. And I know that the goal is to be able to have this beautiful, to have beautiful skin and somehow seamlessly get there, right? Like we wake up in the morning, we apply all the shit to our face, we do it again at night, and we never react to it.
Right.
But somehow we have this like perfect skin.
Right.
And I always say to people, like, you have to irritate, your skin has to heal from something.
Right. Again, when you're putting actives on it, it's going to react to those actives. Sure. So, and it's probably just, it's similar on some level to getting a peel or getting a laser. Like you have to do a little bit of damage on some level to it.
It's a controlled damage.
Yeah.
Right. So vitamin C is probably not, but Retin-A and, arbutase or hydroquinone or some of those things, Tazarac, which is like a different type of retinoid that works on different receptors of the skin, the outcome's the same. But I mean, essentially you're doing sort of a controlled damage to your skin that it heals from.
So we just have to deal with a little bit of irritation and because, you want the good outcome.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the goal is the clearest skin that you can get, and the goal is to age gracefully, or I'm going to steal that term back, by the way, from the wellness community, like the age gracefully thing. Like I don't do anything, I age gracefully.
Yes.
Like, whatever. I'm stealing it back. So I think if that's the goal, you have to put in the work.
Right.
You don't have to use it. Like you don't have, it's not required to use Retin-A or to use an active ingredient, but to do it well, it's going to require it.
Yeah. I mean, it's when you first start working out, you're so sore. And then if you're working out regularly, your body actually doesn't get
But if you worked out once a week at that level, you would never get out of being sore.
Right.
You would just stay sore.
Yeah. Right. So you just have to get through that initial period of pain. Okay. This is so helpful. Briefly for the melasma girlies, the pigment girlies, which I am captain of the team, you were not always a porcelain princess over here. You truly are like so pristine, but your befores that you showed on Instagram, you fully have had melasma, you've had brown spots.
Oh my gosh.
So please share like how long it took you to resolve, and like a little bit of your journey with that and kind of what we should be doing.
I mean, I've had melasma for years, but it kind of comes and goes on people, right? It's worse in the summertime. It's worse.
Right.
I live in a warmer climate where the sun is a little bit more direct and bright year round. But I mean, it kind of waxes and wanes. And it'll depend on hormone levels and it'll depend on a lot of things. And I'm on birth control. Yeah. So there's always that sort of underlying, elevated estrogen level, which is what is the problem. But I didn't realize how bad it was until it went away, that where it was really located on my face. I'll get to that in a second. So last summer, I went to, I had been using an estrogen cream.
Okay.
From here to here.
Yeah.
Which is great and helpful and can be helpful for women over 40 who are started going through perimenopause and like dealing with some estrogen loss in their skin. And, there's some studies that show it can be really helpful. So I was using it all over, and I was in Paris with my best friend, and we were sitting at Orly.
Okay.
In the lounge waiting for our flight. And I went to take a selfie of the two of us because it's sort of like you don't realize what your skin looks like because you get so adjusted to and accustomed to your own reflection every day. So when things get perceptibly worse, you don't really pick up on it. And for as much as like, I feel like I'm on camera sometimes with my page, I don't know, like I take pictures of my friends, but I'm always the photographer of the group. Like I'll sit back and take pictures of everyone. And I took a selfie of her and I was in this natural light, like all windows at Orly. And I was like, oh my God, like I had like a brown stripe going down the side of I had two, like it looked like I was going to sprout horns. Like it was so brown right here that it looked dented.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't pick up on it because the iPhone
makes it worse, I will say.
Yeah, but I had no makeup on because I was getting ready to get on a flight. So normally when you take a selfie, you're right. You're ready. Yeah. And I looked at the photo and I was just like, oh my God, like what is going on here? And Shelly was like, wow.
Oh my
She's like,
gosh.
I don't think I ever noticed that before on you. And I was like, where is this coming
Okay, so
from?
the iPhone photo kind of revealed something that was a little bit harder to see in person, would you say?
Yeah, because I think they shoot sharp.
Yeah,
right?
no, I do think when you take a selfie, my pigment, like when I look in the mirror and then if I look at a selfie, it's like 10x darker.
Yeah, they shoot really sharp. And a friend of mine who's a photographer said that this distance, like the camera, like the lens is not, we weren't meant to shoot our faces with this kind of lens from this distance.
2 feet
like,
away.
Yeah, if you were going to shoot a wide angle or something like that, it would be more realistic to what you actually look like. But the selfie culture has us now shooting these crazy
That's
photos.
such a good point. You have to think about, like, I don't know, sometimes a selfie can get me down. And I feel like we're never 2 feet away from someone's face. We're always like 4 feet or 5 feet away from someone's face.
This episode of Pop Apologist is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com is such a popular app amongst my traveler friends. And honestly, if you have a vacation rental, this is the site for you. Since 2010, Booking.com has helped over 1.8 billion vacation rental guests find places to stay. And let me just emphasize that I said billion with a B. But here's the thing. Most vacation rental hosts don't even realize they can list their properties on Booking.com. And if you're not on the platform, your rental is basically invisible to millions of Booking.com travelers worldwide. After all, they can't book what they can't see, right? Your rental property will be viewed by a massive global audience of unique travelers. Whether your rental is ideal for the solo traveler, big families, or just some friends getting together. You can register your property in as little as 15 minutes, and nearly half of hosts get their first booking within a week. So, if your vacation rental isn't listed on Booking.com, it could be invisible to millions of travelers searching the platform. Don't miss out on consistent bookings and global reach. Head over to Booking.com and start your listing today. Get seen, get booked on Booking.com.
Well, and then you go on, Instagram or whatever, and the mean habit is now when somebody posts a photo is to screenshot that photo and zoom.
Right.
And I was like, when was the last time you walked up to a friend and you were like right here, like looking at like, do you have broken capillaries right there on the side of your nose?
Such a good point.
So, but the photo was so wild to me. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? Why am I so brown?
Yeah.
And I get on the plane and I'm like going through my routine in my head. And I was like, oh my God, it's the estrogen cream.
Yeah. Because that's obviously
if oral
huge
estrogen causes melasma, topical estrogen would. And there are companies out there that swear that it doesn't. And now they've altered their statement on that.
Okay.
Like My Alloy, who's a company I love, I use their estrogen cream. It didn't used to say it on their website, and I don't have any brand dealing with them. It just happens to be the one that I use. I don't use the muesli one because it has vitamin C in it.
Okay.
So it doesn't work for my skin. But now it says if you have melasma, caution.
So you saw these brown spots.
And I immediately stopped using.
And did it immediately go away?
No, because melasma's fucking mean.
Right, yeah.
Like it's mean and it's persistent.
Yeah.
And it's like it wants to be. I feel like it wants to be. And now we're in June. So now it's the summer.
Right.
And I was in New York for a couple of days and with my friend on our way back, and I took a picture of the two of us, and I posted it online, and someone, a dermatologist friend of mine called me and was like, what is wrong with
Oh my
your
gosh.
face? I was like, oh my God. I know. And I was like, it's the estrogen cream.
Right.
And, we talked about solutions, and I said, I have some hydroquinone cream at home. I'll be there in a couple of days. And she offered up a different solution to it. And that's what became this compound that we do.
The compound you're referring to is called the Coleman compound. And I will say the before and afters are crazy.
They're crazy. I never asked for a photo.
Yeah.
So you'll go to my page. You'll never see me ask anybody, like, please send pics. Like,
right.
Every single person sends them sort of voluntarily. And I say, can I share? No pressure. Some people say no. Some people are like, I just want you to see. And I'm like, that's great. I would never, of course. It doesn't matter to me. And then other people are so happy and so relieved that their skin no longer looks like that they're like, absolutely share away.
It's the active ingredient arbutase.
So people think alpha arbutin was, a popular skincare ingredient. There's a bunch of products that have arbutin in it. There might still be a skincare company called alpha arbutin.
Okay.
It wasn't shown to be super effective.
Okay.
But when you combine it with an enzyme, it's shown to be hyper effective.
Okay.
And so we worked with the company that produces it for us, but it was produced for other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are other doctors in this country that work with arbutase. But we got to the point where I wanted a proprietary product. Like I wanted something that if you wanted this and you wanted those results to a great degree, you'd have to buy. So we altered the formula recently of the product, and it's slightly more effective now, slightly less irritating.
Okay, so 2 things. One, this episode is in no way sponsored. I asked Melissa to come on. I reached out. So I just want to say that as we're talking about a product that you sell, just be totally transparent with everyone. I am on day 7. I paid for it with my own money. I did not get a discount even. And
I didn't even know you had it.
It's in my bathroom right now.
I do know.
Well, I'm just so excited because these before and afters, they're not like, I've been on this for a year. It's like 30 days, 60 days, significant improvement.
Significant.
Like the type of improvement I see when people get like a Cosmetic peel. Like but a Cosmetic peel, you are like seriously peeling for 3 weeks. Your like face is a tomato for 3 weeks, and it's a horrible process. At least it looks that way. And so anyway, it seems just incredible. So I'm super excited about it.
There are people who get crazy results on it, and I've seen some sort of mind blowing.
Yeah,
where I'm like, are we sure that this is
right?
Like not these aren't edited. Like they're great. But I always try to keep in mind, like you have melasma. You do not have, like the melasma that you have is close to your skin tone. Right. So some of the results that I see on there are, the contrast is so high.
Because
they're actually very pale, fair-skinned people to begin with, and their melasma is so dark.
Interesting.
And so you get these like unbelievable results, and a lot of times it's olive tone skin. I see a lot because olive tone skin people, generally speaking, don't wear sunscreen.
Okay.
They don't need it. They don't burn.
Yeah.
Right. So I always say about skin, women like us, and even more so, even you, you're fairer than I am.
Yeah.
Fair skinned women catch the brunt of aging early.
Yeah.
The sun,
right.
It just affects us. We're also the easiest to fix.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, it started out so bad, but it ended well.
So it's easiest to laser fair skin. They react best to, fair skin does well with CO2s. It does well with different lasers.
Yeah.
It's easier to clear damage
on
fair skin. Olive and darker, so olive, brown, Indian, African-American skin takes much longer to age. But once you do,
it's way harder to treat.
It's really hard to fix it.
Interesting. Okay.
And so I have friends, I'm sure you have friends that, Italian or, and they look great. And I like one of my best friends is Indian, and she and I are the same age, and she looks much younger than I do.
Yeah.
Because she's got,
right.
This like perfect skin tone that, there's no discoloration, there's no red, there's no anything. There's also, she uses sunscreen, but she would tell you that her friends, her other friends, that are Indian oftentimes don't, because they don't need it.
Right.
But then once that damage starts kicking in.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Well,
really tough to fix.
Everyone wears sunscreen, no matter what your skin tone is. If you're using the Coleman compound, no hydroquinone? None. Okay.
Can't.
Okay.
It just would be, you can try. Like I tell people, like, can I try? And I'm like, one way to find out, but like I wouldn't.
Right.
You're layering way too many active ingredients at that point.
Okay. And would you say that, what's the normal range to see results?
I think for a normal person, I started to see a real difference after 2 weeks.
After 2 weeks? That's crazy.
I started to see like it was getting lighter. Like,
yeah.
But again, you have to put in the work, right? So you have to wear sunscreen.
Right.
So and the other thing with active ingredients, tretinoin being one of them, arbutase, hydroquinone, any of those, they're going to make you more photosensitive to the sun. So if you don't wear sunscreen,
you're actually like making it worse.
I mean, it's not going to get better. And if it's not going to get better, it's not going to get better very quickly.
Right.
So it's going to, your skin's going to be a little bit more vulnerable with the use of those active ingredients. So yeah, you have to have like a religious experience with sunscreen.
Yeah. You know what I do, and this is my sister kind of got me on this, but I have a UV mirror. And it's just super satisfying to like put on your sunscreen and watch your face. Basically, do you have a UV mirror?
No, I have that camera.
Okay.
That Favice camera that you hook up to your phone.
They're on Amazon. They're like $30. And anyway, you can just put on your sunscreen in the mirror and you watch your face go to where it's completely black.
Yeah, you're
and, like protected. And it's so satisfying to see. So anyway, I have it and it sits next to the coffee maker and I have sunscreen. And so what I do, because I have windows in my apartment, is I put on sunscreen as my coffee is being made, and then I like drink coffee, and then I do like my morning skincare afterwards. But I try to have sunscreen on from like the moment I'm exposed to light.
Yeah, I mean, and the reapplication is, I think, tough for a lot of women.
Yeah,
because they work and carpool and work out and all those things. I think the reapplication is where a lot of things go south. I'm terrible at it.
Okay,
terrible.
So how often are you reapplying during the day?
Many days I don't.
Okay.
Like I'll put it on, before I go to the gym.
Yeah.
I'll walk to the gym or whatever, and I'll put it on. And then I come home, I'll run some errands, whatever. I don't know that I reapply it again.
Yeah.
The second time. But if you're in and out, I think a lot of people get caught in that. Like if they're in and out of their car, especially being in the car all day, like you have those, road warriors that drive all day long and they do carpool and they, and the left side of their face just gets beat to shit.
Yeah.
And almost everybody's left side ages worse.
Oh, interesting.
Than their right. Like everyone's a little bit asymmetric, but like I remember when we would do filler, like I need more on my left side. I think with my upper left, we remove more skin on the left side than the right.
Okay.
Because you just age poorly there.
Yeah. So we're trying to reapply as much as we can. Let's talk about European Union sunscreens, EU sunscreens, and US sunscreens. So I was actually chatting with my dear friend Elizabeth, friend of the pod, and I was like, you got to follow Mrs. Derm on Instagram because you're going to die. And she said is that US sunscreens protect from sunburns, but EU sunscreens are the only one actually protecting against aging. And she like grips my hand across the table and she says, but Lauren, that's all we care about is the aging.
I know.
What are you talking about? So can you please share the deep need we all have for EU sunscreens, or how necessary they are?
So in the United States, sunscreen is classified as a drug.
Okay.
Which means that in order to get, a filter like avobenzone, which is a major filter in U.S. sunscreen, in order to get that approved, they would have to go through the FDA clinical trials to prove, test on animals, the whole nine.
Yeah.
In the EU, it's classified as a cosmetic. And so the process to get filters approved is much quicker.
Okay.
The science is there. L'Oreal sort of, I guess, I don't know. I mean, they're the leader in that field because they have the filter Mixoral 400 patented, which is probably the best filter on the planet right now in terms of protecting your skin. And it's only in one of their lines. So it's in one La Roche-Posay line called UV Immune 400. It's not even in all of their lines. Because they classify it as a cosmetic, there's a lot more wiggle room in terms of updating sunscreens, keeping them current, keeping them more protective, over longer periods of time. The broad spectrum protection is better. The Australians, there's been some controversy over Australian sunscreen as of late, have an even stricter broad spectrum requirement because 1 in 3 people there will get skin cancer in their life.
Wow.
So the US hasn't updated a filter for sunscreen since the 1990s.
Okay.
So we have 30 plus year old technology in this country, whereas the Europeans update it annually.
Wow.
And so the best way I can sort of word it is, US sunscreens will protect you from getting sunburned, the UVB damage. So B for burn, right?
Okay.
And they'll do an okay job. You know, I mean, I can't remember the last time, even prior to this knowledge, that I got a pretty bad sunburn with sunscreen on me.
Yeah.
I've earned some without. But they don't do much to protect against UVA.
Okay.
And that's going to be your longer rays, like your aging. So they're pretty useless.
This is earth-shattering information. So okay. And one of the things I think that like I appreciate so much about the content that you have is you're selling the Coleman compound, but that's it. Like you're really actually, everything you promote is stuff that people need to buy elsewhere.
Well, yeah. And you know, the compound is,
it's like for one specific thing.
It's for a specific person. It's for sun damage or melasma. That's it. And that does not, you know.
That doesn't apply to a lot of people.
If I could figure out a cream to cure red, which doesn't exist and never will exist because you have to have the vasculature of your face. But if I could figure out that, we would all be retired. It's never going to happen. My father-in-law is derm as well. As like, I asked him, is that possible? And he's like, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a very niche product for a very specific problem. And whether people use it or not, that's I don't care.
Totally.
Like if it's helpful to you, great. If it's not, but sunscreen's helpful to everyone.
I think it's like the things I see you most often promoting are like is Retin-A and then EU sunscreen. You know how every home has that one spot you dream about all day? For me, it's my bed. And my personality is that the second I have wrapped my activities, my work, the things I need to do during the day, I'm just dying to get back under the covers. That is because of my Cozy Earth setup. The sheets are made from viscose from bamboo, so they actually help wick away heat and moisture while you sleep. Just smooth, cool, ridiculously comfy sheets that make it very hard to get up when the alarm goes off. I also love the Bubble Cuddle blanket. It's plush, textured, and somehow looks chic, draped over the bed. You can try Cozy Earth risk-free with their 100-night sleep trial and 10-year warranty, though I honestly don't see these sheets leaving your bed once they arrive. Head to cozyearth.com and use my code POP for 40% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, make sure to let them know you heard about Cozy Earth right here, because your bed should be more than a place to sleep. It should be your happy place. Cozy Earth makes that possible. So where can people get EU sunscreen? Can we say, or do they just need to Google? Is it like illegal?
No.
Is it like talking about how to buy drugs?
Well, it is illegal in the United States to have it.
To possess it?
Not to possess it, but to sell it. So you can't sell it in this country because it would be an unapproved drug.
But there are companies where you can buy it online.
There were.
Oh, there were.
So we have a tariff issue now.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't get into politics on my page.
Yeah.
But elections have consequences. And they matter, right? In certain areas. And it is a bipartisan agreement, though. So I've never...
Aging is a bipartisan issue.
Right. So there's a bill that's been introduced that was bipartisan in Congress to try and get some filters updated. Congressman Eric Swalwell's team I've spoken to just on policy, you know, trying to educate. And I know they've met with L'Oreal now to try and figure out, will they spend the money?
Yeah.
You know, can we get L'Oreal to spend the money in the United... And the answer is, I don't know what the answer is. My guess is the answer is no. To spend the money in the U.S., they'd have to rerun clinical trials. And those are hundreds of millions of dollars. Their research shows that it doesn't increase the amount of people who would actually use sunscreen.
Okay.
So, because the skin cancer rates in Europe are high.
Yeah.
Just because you have the product doesn't mean that you're going to use it.
Right, right.
You know, and so the argument is like, well, look at the Europeans. They have skin cancer. Well, of course they do.
Yeah.
But they have access to preventing it better.
Right.
We can't convince them to use it, but they do have it. We don't even have it available to us.
Right.
So there are websites, cosmetic.com, Stalvana has some European, some Asian. Care to Beauty has some, Yes Style. I mean, there's some out there.
So you got to figure this out, people.
But you're going to get a tariff bill attached to it.
Oh, well.
And I've seen some big ones.
Oh, really?
I had one. I've seen somebody DM me, and they love to send the bills too, so I can see them. They bought like $210 worth of sunscreen, and they got a tariff bill for $400.
Oh my gosh! I will say, my sister sent me a Japanese sunscreen. Mm-hmm. She was like, "It's listed on Amazon right now. My favorite. Get this."
Wouldn't get it.
Oh, wouldn't get it. Why?
There's a lot of fake sunscreen on
Well,
Amazon.
but that's why she was like, you need the UV mirror to make sure that it's real.
It doesn't mean it's Japanese. It could be some shitty American sunscreen.
Oh,
that they're
interesting. Oh,
I mean, it could be
no.
copper tone that they're shoving into. Not that there's anything wrong with copper. Well, it's American, whatever.
Yeah.
But it could be anything.
Okay, so we're really just looking at a bad tariff bill potentially.
I've seen them. I've seen $20 tariff bills.
Right.
I've seen bigger ones. You guys are lucky in New York because there's all of these little pharmacies here that carry European sunscreen.
Oh, wait, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you could just walk in and buy it in New York?
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Is this like a underground market?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, excellent. Well, that's great to know about.
I don't see it in a lot of other cities.
Okay.
But
oh, amazing.
There's definitely,
hell yeah,
they're going to upcharge you. So I say this to everybody. Here's your safest bet.
Yeah.
Because people ask, how do I know it's European and not American? There is no American version of UV Immune 400. There is no American version of it. It's the Anhelios La Roche-Posay. It looks like the stuff you can get at Target. It is not the stuff you can get. If it says UV Immune 400 on it, there is no American version because the 400 stands for Mixoral 400, which is not approved here.
Okay.
So when you're traveling overseas, which they don't approve American sunscreen overseas, so they wouldn't carry our stuff anyway. But if you run into, a pharmacy here that has them, there's a couple. I've seen, 4 or 5 of them. There's some places in Long Island that have them now. They're just like these little European pop-ups. There are pharmacies that exist. Like there was one called West Cambridge on Lexington and 60 something that I saw the other day. And I was like, oh,
amazing.
We don't want to get them in trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so what's the name of the one people need to find? It's called
La Roche-Posay. It's the Anhelios. So it's going to look like when you think of a La Roche-Posay sunscreen, it looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
But on the bottle, it will say UV Immune 400.
UV Immune 400, and it won't say that on the American version.
No, doesn't exist.
Okay, so you gotta basically figure it out, folks.
Or you go to Europe.
Right, or go to France, and it's always a good idea to go to Europe. So, okay, I want to talk about treatments, and then I want to talk about surgery.
Okay,
because I think we've covered sunscreen and skincare comprehensively. So thank you. Treatments. When we're talking about lasers, we're talking about Morpheus, all the crazy things you can do. What do you think actually is useful?
So I think that varies wildly.
There's a lot. There's a lot,
right? There's I think there's just sort of general categories of lasers.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I would say to everyone, because the number one question I get is, what do you think of Fraxel?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's a brand, not a laser.
Okay.
So Fraxel is a brand and they not a type of laser. They own 4 lasers now. I think the 4th one's launching. So it depends wildly on what your skin looks like, what skin tone you are, what your problems are.
Yeah.
There's not a universal laser for everyone.
Right.
So when people are like, what do you think? What do I need? And then the question I get a lot lately is, what do I need for maintenance? And I have absolutely no idea what that means. Like, maintenance?
Yeah.
A maintenance laser. So there are lasers for red that treat solely red.
Okay.
There are vascular lasers that'll treat melasma. Well, actually, a lot of people with melasma have an underlying red issue.
Okay.
They have broken capillaries that contribute to the melasma. And so sometimes people with melasma, it's twofold. You can do a laser for red and it actually helps. So you have vascular lasers, you have resurfacing lasers, and you have various resurfacing lasers, like light to heavy resurfacing. And then you have, I don't consider them lasers, but you have the things like Morpheus 8.
Mm-hmm.
You have things like Softwave, Ulthera, sort of your, I don't know, like tightening treatments, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
It all depends on like, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
So
for redness, what laser?
The V-beam is the gold standard.
Okay.
The Derm V is one that, gets a lot of attention. Patrick's looked at that one. And then the XLV.
Okay.
But IPL is not going to do much for red.
Mm-hmm.
BBL Hero are not going to do really. You need a vascular laser. And they treat only red.
Okay.
So those 3, the Derma V, the V-beam, and the XLV are your 3 for red.
Okay. For pigment?
Depends.
Yeah.
What kind of pigment? So what's your skin tone?
Yeah.
So people that are fair, can use pretty much any laser.
Okay.
So you can use a Fraxel, any of the Fraxels, Halos, the Moxies, the CO2s.
And they're all good.
Sure.
Okay.
No. I mean, I'll tell a 28-year-old all day long, go do Moxie and Halo annually. And maybe you won't ever need a CO2 when you hit my age.
Right.
If you're chasing 40 and you're just getting into lasers, some of those are kind of lightweights.
Okay.
And I don't know, they're repeatables. So Patrick always says, like, if it worked, why didn't it work?
I love that.
So, like, why are we doing this over and over and over again if it worked?
Well, and I will say I had a Clear and Brilliant done and I felt like it did nothing, but also it took me a week to feel normal again, to look normal again.
And if it works, why didn't it work? Right. And that's a repeatable, like, that's one that's sold to come in every month for your Clear and Brilliant. It's $350 or, it is in New Orleans. And, people never get there.
Yeah.
Like they never get to interject a different laser because they're always recovering from the one that didn't do much.
Right. Like is it CO2?
I'm a CO2 fan. I've done it 3 times.
Even with melasma prone skin.
You treat it.
You just treat it afterwards. Okay.
I mean, you just treat your melasma. So
yeah.
It can flare it. It doesn't always, but I've done my eyes twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a full face 2 years ago.
Okay.
It probably flared my melasma to begin with, and then it doesn't keep melasma at bay by any stretch of the imagination.
But it helps a lot with texture, fine lines, like all that resurfacing that we want.
Texture, tone, sun damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's great at. It doesn't tighten, which I think is a misnomer. People talk a lot about like what laser, will it tighten? You see online people CO2ing people's eyelids. And you see this immediate like tightening.
Yeah.
Because they're burning your skin. Like it's immediately like you've now burned the top layer of their skin. So it's retracting. It's not tightening.
Yeah.
It's going to swell in about 30 minutes. And that retracted skin is going to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's going to think that skin's any tighter. And, for fine lines, crepey skin, I get a lot. Like, how do I fix crepey skin? You kind of don't. The under eyes, a little bit, it'll help a little bit.
Yeah.
Under eyes, to me, give everybody away.
Okay.
Like, no matter, I was looking at a picture of Lindsay Lohan, a real picture of Lindsay Lohan. And she looks great. Like, she looks great. Like, no, whatever. I'm not getting into like all the, what did she do thing. But her under eyes give her away because it's still that very crepey skin.
Yeah.
Here and here. Lasers, when used correctly, there's not everybody needs a laser.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody is a candidate for a laser. And I would argue that doing a peel is probably more effective for a lot of women.
Oh, interesting. Okay, what peel?
TCA peel.
TCA peel.
So just a custom, TCA peel, like the Diamond Glow, whatever. Patrick always says, it's my favorite saying of his, no box wine and no box peels.
Okay.
So like the box peel that your esthetician's going to do that has like, the velvet, snazzy peel, like he just rolls his eyes. He's like, I mean, come on. You want a medium, light to medium depth peel that your dermatologist is going to do.
Okay.
Your recovery on that is 5 days, probably. But a lot of times women, and they don't think of it because they think of a laser as aggressive. And so the laser's aggressive and it's going to work and it's going to do things.
Right.
When in reality.
Sounds strong as a laser.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, when in reality, I tell this story all the time. There was a woman in Patrick's office, and this was probably 10 years ago. And I walked in, I don't know what I was doing, but she was checking out. Her hair was wet, like shower wet. And she had on like a swimsuit cover up. And I'm like, what is going on here? And she had the most beautiful skin I'd ever seen.
Okay.
And it was that indiscernible age, right? She either looked awesome for 50.
Right.
Or she looked awesome for 70 and terrible for 50. Like, you don't know.
Right.
Like, you couldn't tell how old she was. And I just remember saying to him, like, what are you doing to her? Like, what is she getting? Like, I want that.
Right.
And he said she comes in here. She had a skin cancer on her back a while back. And we had to cut it out, whatever. And she comes in every single month
For a peel.
For a full body peel.
Full body peel?
Yeah, they throw her in the shower.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that's possible.
Yeah.
I thought you'd like your, I don't know, just
I've never done it. I've done
she comes in for
chest,
a full
arms,
body peel.
Shoulder. But I've had friends who will go in and they will do, head to toe.
This is shocking.
She was stunning. And like the skin. And I said, how long has she been doing it? And he said she comes in once a month and she's done it for years. So
a peel monthly could be something, or bi-monthly or whatever, that's really gonna help.
Yeah.
And that could be be more effective than a laser even.
Oh, 100%.
Crazy.
100%.
And 5-day recovery is nothing.
Well, and it's not recovery like you're not red. You're not like you're like a laser, your face isn't melting off. You're peeling like you would, like if you rub your face, the skin's rolling up underneath it.
Yeah.
You're peeling.
Yeah.
Like sunburn peel, but you're not sunburn looking.
You guys, I recently went on a supplement, and I have to tell you, we redid my blood work 4 months later, and my levels were so much healthier, and I have been so passionate about tracking my health ever since. And do you know what I used to do that? Function. It's the only health platform that gives me data most people never get and the insights to actually do something about it. Inside Function, you get access to test over 100 biomarkers. Most of us only think about immunity once we're already sick, but Function shows what's happening before you hit the drugstore medication phase. Markers like vitamin D, white blood cell count, ferritin, and cortisol can reveal your body's run down, inflamed, or low on reserves. Function Health helps me make better decisions about my body, and you should try it out for yourself. Learn more and enjoy using our link. Function is a near 360 view to see what's happening in your body, and my first 1,000 followers get a $100 credit toward their membership. Visit www.functionhealth.com/popapologist or use gift code popapologist100 at sign up to own your health.
I did peels for years, like arms, face, and I got away from them when I started doing Retin-A every night.
Okay.
And that's really when I just cut it because I use Retin-A on my arms and chest and all that. But it used to be peel laser, peel laser, peel laser. So if you wanted, like, if you come down to New Orleans and I can have you for 3 months.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Patrick's office. We're going to peel you.
Yeah. Amazing.
And 2 weeks later, we're going to laser you. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to peel you again. We're going to laser you again. We're going to peel you again. We're going to laser you again. We're going to do it until we complete 3 of each.
Okay.
And we're going to send you on your way, and you're going to have the skin of your life.
Wow.
And we're going to send you on your way with Retin-A.
Right.
And sunscreen.
Okay. If someone was like, I really want to kickstart this.
A peel.
Always. And then a laser.
Yeah.
A peel and then a laser. And just kind of do that until you get to where you want to be.
Yeah, you can toggle back and forth.
And that you can do it 2 weeks apart.
Yep.
Okay.
That laser is going to be...
Yeah, which laser
IPL,
are we doing? Okay.
BBL Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your 2 big ones. You're not going to do a resurfacing laser. So you're not going to do... You can't do a peel and then a Fraxel.
Okay.
Or a peel and a Moxie or a peel and a Halo. And, people get into like what about the cool peel thing? And it's not a peel. It's an underpowered CO2 that has a cool aesthetic. And Patrick's like, just do an actual peel.
Yeah.
It's like they're, in his office, they're ridiculously priced because his dad, my father-in-law, who's sort of this like legend in Derm, he's still the editor of the Derm Surgery Journal. I mean, he's like this guy, right?
Yeah.
He believed that everybody needed a peel. And so when people would come in for Botox or whatever, every visit, the peel was free.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
So if you came in for Botox, they would peel you for free.
Yeah.
Because my father-in-law just believed everyone. And it's a nickel's worth of chemicals, right? It is literally a nickel's worth of chemicals.
Oh, really? So they're cheap for the provider.
Oh, it's nothing. It's a vat of chemicals. They're all cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things with overhead attached to them. Botox fillers,
Right.
they have an overhead attached. But a jug of TCA
Crazy.
is like, it's a nickel's worth of, Patrick, he's like, it's a nickel's worth of chemicals. He feels bad charging. They finally had to charge because people were like, oh, I'm not here for Botox. I just want,
right.
I just want the peel. And so forever they were $80.
Okay. Wow. That's
really, and now I think they're
so
$100.
Amazing.
I think they're $100, and other derms will charge more for them, but they shouldn't be.
So we need to be calling our dermatologist office or going to a dermatologist office.
So mad at me.
Okay, what?
Because they don't want to do them.
Oh, they don't want to do them.
No.
Why?
I don't know. A lot of derms that do TCA peels do them because they're the ones that handle that particular chemical.
Mm-hmm.
It's strong. It can burn you. I think we all saw.
We all saw the girl who got burned by.
I think there's an argument was that phenol. There's an argument was that TCA. It was something because the frosting.
That's what I wanted to talk about, because it's like if you're in the wrong hands, this is actually like potentially disfiguring stuff.
So this is where I get angry.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like as supportive and nice as possible, but I start to get really angry. These are medical procedures.
Mm-hmm.
Like microneedling is a medical procedure. Peels to that strength are truly any strength, but like these are medical procedures. Like lasers are medical. They're classified as medical procedures. So to have a mid-level, like first of all, there's no such thing as a medical esthetician.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't exist. It is an esthetician that works in a doctor's office, and they call themselves medical estheticians because it sounds more official.
Yeah.
Right? It sounds like a bigger deal than what it is.
Right.
And I have no problem with an esthetician. I think that they're a lovely, wonderful cog in the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
Should they be doing lasers without supervision by a doctor? No.
Yeah.
And by a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon, in my opinion, no. Should they be doing injections? Absolutely not. Should they be doing peels like that? Not in a million years. Like not, because what happens when your face gets fucked up?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you calling?
Right.
You're calling a derm.
Yeah.
You're calling a plastic surgeon. You are now disfigured permanently.
Mm-hmm. That story is so sad.
They build a rapport with an esthetician. Estheticians have all the time in the world to sit and talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
A dermatologist doesn't.
Right.
I say this to people all the time. They'll DM me and they'll be mad at their derm because they waited 6 months to get an appointment for a skin check. The derm comes in, your insurance is kicking them $80 or whatever for that skin check.
Right.
They have 40 other people waiting.
Right.
They have 5 minutes with you because that's what your insurance company pays for.
Right.
And then when you want to talk about peels and Botox and lasers, they don't have time.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you have to schedule the appointment you need.
Right.
First of all. So if you need to talk about that, you need to schedule that. So people get frustrated and they go, well, I'm going to go see an esthetician because they have 30 minutes to talk to me.
Mm.
And they watch the same TV shows as I do.
Right.
And they don't have 40 people waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to build a rapport with them and I'm going to trust them. And then they get burned. And they literally get burned.
I mean, it's a nickel's worth of chemicals, but those chemicals, even if they're cheap, they can still disfigure you permanently.
She will never fix that.
Well, I have a scar right here from this really stupid situation where I ran headfirst into a sign in Puerto Rico where I live, running across the street. And this scar is like, it's so, no one notices it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
It's very invisible, but I see it every day when I look in the mirror. Every day. And I know how minor it is. So I just cannot even imagine. I mean, hers is major.
Yeah.
And so, okay.
And
so forever. So you can't laser that off. It's just,
you can improve it. I mean, you can always improve.
Right.
So lasers will always improve. Like things that you can improve that. She'll get improvement over the years.
Right.
To a degree. But laxity will kick in eventually. Mm-hmm. And so, your skin starts, getting more lax. You lose the elasticity as you get older. And so the scars look worse. So acne scars tend to look worse as you get older because the gravity, they start to sort of sink, right?
Yeah.
People complain about their pores more so as they get older because they start to stretch, because ever so slightly the skin's moving down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't get past that. You can't stand that.
Well, I think that
like
the thing
dermabrasion
that's crazy
would
about
probably
it,
help, I would think. Not microdermabrasion, which is bullshit, but actual dermabrasion would probably help.
Yeah.
But she's disfigured forever.
The thing I didn't know is that when you have like something that happens like that to your face, or really anywhere, I guess, on your body, most likely, but I know on your face, like the color never comes back. So So that's the thing that's kind of crazy is like the part that I have the scar is white and it doesn't have the same pigment as the rest of the skin surrounding it. Apparently you can like microneedle lattice into your skin.
Some evidence it might do something.
Yeah.
Some evidence that running a CO2 across it and then putting lattice. Patrick would tell you that tattooing in lattice would be the best option.
The best option, okay.
Of those three. So if you can find someone to tattoo it in, it might repigment the area. People scar how they scar as well. So she's lucky she didn't scar purple.
Wow, yeah.
From that.
So for everyone who's listening and they're thinking, I want to book a TCA peel, I want to book a laser, we're saying you need to go to a dermatologist's office. And it's the dermatologist who needs to provide the service.
Somebody in their office does. I don't think Patrick's ever handled the microneedling pen.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
I don't think he's ever touched it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you're cleared by him.
Would a plastic surgeon's office be enough? Or does it need to be a dermatologist?
So the thing with plastics, I'm a plastic surgeon. I'm a plastic surgery fan. And
same.
I think that, their primary focus is to cut and sew.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what they do. And so their primary focus, and I'm sure there are different residency programs and different fellowships and things like that. But their primary focus is not skin.
Mm-hmm.
However, I would trust, my plastic surgeon's done a CO2 on me.
Okay.
I did great.
Yeah.
I'll argue Patrick has the better CO2 because that's his, that's his bread and butter are those lasers. Plastics, it's more an adjunct to an overall procedure. But yeah, I mean, I would trust a plastic surgeon's office and a derm's office over a med spa owned by an ER doc.
Yeah.
Where the state law is they have to be somewhere in the building and that building could be 50 stories.
Wow. Okay.
They just have to be under the same roof. And then there are, like in the state of Texas, I can inject you legally.
I mean, the stuff I see, I definitely know people who inject themselves and buy Botox online. And
do you really?
Yeah. There's like a whole community.
I've seen there's one, like a DIY.
Yeah. They do all this stuff to themselves.
Somebody sent me that. There was like an Instagram page. It was like a DIY.
It's called like Natural Chaos. Have you seen this?
Maybe it was that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh. So if I came at you with a needle, you should call the cops.
It's very scary, especially knowing like, the things that can go wrong. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, state regulations are nuts. And it's like Texas and California are pretty bad.
Yeah.
In terms of who's allowed to inject.
Right.
A high school graduate can inject you as long as there's somebody with a medical license around.
Yeah.
And, I was joking. I'm like, I could move to Texas, go work in a med spa that is owned by a psychiatrist because it just has to be an MD who's never had a day's worth of, skin derm training in their life, but they can legally open one, hire whomever they want. And I was like, and people would probably trust me.
It's insane.
Like they would be like, oh, she knows. Like
right.
You can put on a white coat. I think Oregon is now the only state out there that requires you to put your qualifications on the white coat.
Wow.
You can put on a white coat and I can inject you.
Yeah.
And like, if I fuck up your face,
right,
I'm under the malpractice of the psychiatrist that owns the med spa.
Well, and if something bad happens, it's like, it doesn't even matter if you have recourse because the bad thing has already happened.
You're disfigured.
Yeah. At that point, we're going to prevent and we're going to go to dermatologist's office, plastic surgeon's offices and get these things done. Before we move on to surgery, I just really would love if you could address, are there any devices we need? Like microcurrent devices?
No.
The countdown is on. Holiday shopping season is officially here. Uncommon Goods takes the stress out of gifting with thousands of unique, high-quality finds you won't see anywhere else. So instead of panic buying another candle, I found the Create Your Own Reel Viewer, the grown-up version of that childhood gadget we were all obsessed with. You upload your photos, they turn it into a custom reel, and suddenly you're flipping through memories like it's in 1998. I'm getting it for my dad because nothing will make him happier than clicking through our family moments and getting misty-eyed in 3D. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, from foodies and book lovers to gardeners and teens. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Just don't wait, because a lot of their items are small batch and sell out fast. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Uncommon Goods, they give $1 back to a nonprofit partner of your choice. So don't wait. Cross those names off your list before the rush. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/pop. That's uncommongoods.com/pop for 15% off. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Before we move on to surgery, I just really would love if you could address, are there any devices we need? Like microcurrent devices? No.
They're all bullshit.
Okay.
They don't do anything.
Thank you for saying that, because honestly, I'm too lazy to do any of that stuff. So I'm so happy to hear this. Huge relief.
As the LED light mask.
LED mask is coming next.
People get mad at me for saying this. So my father-in-law was once quoted in the New York Times as saying, this is a while back, but like, just take your remote control and just like, just aim it at your face. So a lot of them are FDA cleared. Mm-hmm. Usually that means for safety, not efficacy. So it's not going to melt your face off.
Right.
But it's not going to deliver results either. They're just simply, and look, I wish the technology was there.
Right.
Patrick wishes, he's like, I would love to send a patient home with a laser and be like, great, you do that. Mm-hmm. I'll do this over here. It opens up my slots to help people, to do other procedures on people. I'm going to send you home with your at-home laser. You take care of your sun damage. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'd love it if they worked. I always say this, ask this. If it worked, why does it never work? I've never seen a before and after picture ever of somebody who said, I used this and it worked. Usually the before and afters come from when somebody decides to buy an at-home device. They also decide they're going to take better care of their skin in general.
Right.
So they fold in sunscreen, they fold in some sort of retinoid, they fold in, better care of their skin. But the laser seems like the real deal. And so when their skin improves, they're like, it had to have been the laser. It couldn't have been that I'm just taking better care of my skin in general. So there's that. And then if an LED, if it worked, where's the one at your derm's office?
That they want to do for you.
Well, where's the stronger version, right? So we can buy an over-the-counter retinol, right? Oil of Olay makes them. Medigate makes them. But you can get a prescription grade.
Right.
That works a lot better. LED lasers were introduced in the derm world a while back. They were abject failures.
Yeah.
So where's the derm version of this? Where's the plastics version of this? Like, where you're like, oh, I can have the at-home one. Like, you could have an at-home microneedling pen and destroy your face. Or you can, then there's the ones that are cleared for dermatology offices, right? Or medical offices. So where's the bigger, badder LED? They're not there. Mm-hmm. Like, you cannot call Ellen Gendler in, a couple of blocks from here and schedule an LED laser because they don't exist. So, and it makes a lot of people angry. And then companies are like, but we put all this money into R&D and we put all this money into creating these devices. And then you have influencers that are going to sell them. And they do, and I'm going to get disliked for this, but I will often post what the commission rate is so I donate all of my commissions to charity.
Okay. That's amazing.
I donate all to breast cancer research. I always have, I don't pocket any of it.
Yeah.
So I feel a little bit more free to be
candid about,
hey, those LED masks are $400. They're making 40%.
Right.
So for every click or for every buy, it's $160. And I get it. It's big money. And that's what some of these people do for a living.
Yeah.
And I respect that. But let's be honest about what they do. What the limitation is. Let's be honest about it. You know, like, hey guys, I use this. There is no, there's no bigger, badder version of this. This is like that home hair removal devices.
Yeah. It's so funny. Oh my gosh, I can't even go into how many devices I have that I just, collect dust because I just can't.
I have them all too. They're all sent to me with the hopes that I'll
promote them.
Never.
Yeah.
Like never. And again, I wish more than anything that hair removal ones worked. I hate going in.
Yeah.
To have my bikini line.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's painful. I wish the at-home devices work. They don't work.
Yeah.
But again, it kind of boils down to that people want to feel like
Yeah, the placebo effect is so powerful.
They're
And
doing
I think
something.
people love like the selfie with it, and they love feeling like
But
they
it's
love
also performative,
it all
right?
is performative, but I think it's performative to the self as well. Like it makes them feel like they're really making progress, and they're like skincare girlies, and yeah, it's
I'll
working.
say to you again, you know, are they going to hurt you? I don't know. I mean, Ellen Gendler and I were talking about it last night, and she's like, I don't know that they don't. I don't know that they don't make melasma worse, or that they wouldn't. There's
Well,
some.
I had to discontinue mine
Yeah,
before I'd, seen your page. I was using an LED mask, and I did feel like it was making my pigment worse.
there's some ophthalmologists out there that'll argue it harms your vision, those
Yeah.
masks. But
Okay.
I don't have any proof on that. I don't know that
Right.
that's the case. But I do know that if you're using it, you don't have melasma, it's not making it worse, your eyesight's fine, whatever. And just putting that on for 15 minutes reminds you in general to just take better care of your skin.
Right.
Like I put on my LED mask, I turn it on the blue setting today for whatever.
Yeah.
Blue is for acne, red is for whatever. I turn it on, I take it off, I put on Retin-A because it's part of my process. Do it.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
Like it's not going to do anything, but if it's part of your process to get there.
And you feel like it's doing something. Yeah. I mean, all of this is for ourselves, right? So if we feel better and we feel like it's helping,
sure,
then
absolutely.
go for it.
If it's part of your, like I'll say that all day long, like the little the new face thing.
Yeah.
The microcurrent device.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, okay. But if you use that every single morning and it reminds you, it sits next to your sunscreen. And you're like, I new face while I drink my coffee. And then I go into the bathroom and I put on sunscreen. Great. Use it.
Yeah.
Use it every day.
Yeah.
Use it 5 times a day. If it reminds you to take better care of your skin. I think my issue with the at-home devices is people use them in lieu of.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
So they don't use Retin-A because they use an LED face mask. They don't use they use the new face device, or they'll pop a Helio Care supplement or sunscreen supplement, and they'll skip the sunscreen during the day. So when people start using them in lieu of things that actually work, I get a little bit indignant about it.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, go use them. Use them. Fine.
Yeah.
But be sure to follow up with what science can prove works.
Right.
And to one more note, because you're going to get a firestorm of pro LED mask people, NASA, the NASA thing always comes up like, well, NASA says it works. And it works.
Yeah.
NASA, there is some proof that LED helps with wound healing. In those cases, something called a psoralen, which is PSORALEN, is taken orally to sensitize the skin to LED light.
Okay.
It's a much stronger light than what you can use at home.
Okay.
And in terms of wound healing, there has been some things that show it's promising, NASA says. But that's where that comes from.
But we're talking about a device that's much stronger.
Much stronger. You have to
and you're taking something that no one's taking.
Right.
So it's a prescription grade.
Right. But
no one knows that full context.
But when I talk about it, I am invariably sent, well, NASA said.
Yeah.
Like, well, great. And they're probably right. But are you, A, do you have that laser?
Right.
And B, do you have a prescription for psoralens? Celery does not count.
Do you have wounds that need to heal?
Right. So there's never been any that I've seen, any compelling research that shows that it helps in any way with anti-aging.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the game for almost everyone.
I mean, shots are fired here, but you know what? I appreciate it because any shots that I think result in people spending less money, wasting less time, and just being able to have an efficacious routine and a science-based routine and like do things that improve. That's what we need. I think we all have too much going on and are too busy. We're bombarded with all the new serums, lotions and potions, devices, masks, all the things.
Yeah.
There's always something new. So I just appreciate this so much.
Do you think, can I ask you a question?
Please.
Just as, I guess, somebody who doesn't live in that world 24/7, because I feel like I do. I do feel like the tides are turning. I used to see injectors and doctors out there, and there's still a bunch of them that I roll my eyes at, but it used to be all of them, and I felt like I was sort of this lone voice like screaming into the wind of like, guys, come on, like think about this, you know? And now I'm starting to see more and more influencers come out and they're honest now. Like they're a little bit more forthcoming. I'm starting to see there's some injectors out there that have big accounts that are they're lovely, but they used to, man, they would sell some stuff. And now I'm watching there's some backing off.
There's some paring back.
I think so.
Well, the thing I'll say is like my mom uses the LED mask every day. I think she uses it for like 30 minutes to an hour. Like she like loves it and she swears by it. I know my sister is an influencer and I know she's promoted an LED mask and I know she's religious about it and would never promote something that she didn't believe in.
Sure.
So with that said, what I think I have seen is I think that LED masks were just way bigger like 2 years ago. Like it was just kind of everywhere. And I think that's when they were actually becoming popular. But I think we've definitely hit peak LED.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm glad for that. Then, we'll move on to something else. There's always like the topic of the day. Like last year it was stem cells.
Or exosomes.
Now it's exosomes.
Are exosomes useful?
No.
We don't need them.
I mean, not in the United States. They're not legal.
Okay.
Like,
so topical exosomes are BS.
I talked to one dermatologist who was like, I think it cut down on redness from my microneedling by a day. And, is it the exosome in there or is it the hydrating serum that it's, that is it a hydrating serum with exosomes in it? So was it the non-human exosomes that aren't legal to have in the United States? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, it's not legal.
So then what if it's not legal? What are people getting?
A lot of them are plant-based.
Okay.
Like they're not, I forgot what the plated thing was. Like plated is from platelets, or they're claiming it's from platelets, and maybe they are, but like it's not legal in the US.
Interesting.
So the skincare companies that are promoting them, it's sort of dubious claims, I think, at this point. Okay. And I've never seen anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I have, tens of thousands of women. Not one has, and they send me everything.
Yeah.
Not one has ever said, here's half of my face. Let's do half.
Right. Let's do half.
Let's CO2 your entire face on half of it. I'll tell a great story. So you can get exosomes. There was a friend of mine who burned his face and arms. His gas grill like blew up.
Oh gosh.
He's fine.
Horrible. Okay.
Yeah, he's totally fine.
He's good. Okay.
And totally healed.
Okay.
And he freaked out. He's a doctor and really interesting guy. And decided with Patrick when he was burned, down to the fat.
Oh gosh.
In his arms. Let's order these exosomes from this company in Colorado and we'll make a paste and we'll treat one half of my body.
Yeah.
With it. And the other half, I think, with like a silicone scar cream or something, healed exactly the same.
Wow. Okay.
And this was like thousands of dollars worth of like exosomes. And this was, probably $100 worth of cream. And it healed exactly the same.
Okay. Well,
and he used his face. It was wild.
Wow.
As a science experiment. Like a burned face.
We thank him for his service and for the money we all just saved.
But they will be something.
Oh, they will be something.
One day.
Okay.
The tech, like stem cells in order.
That was my next question. Something. Like I've seen someone saying that they're topical stem cells that you can get.
I think that there's some in Europe. There's probably some in Mexico. There's some, I know a spine surgeon who does surgeries outside of the United States and they use real human stem cells with a lot of luck in regenerating, nerve issues and spine issues and things like that. It's not legal in the United States.
Okay.
And so you have no idea what you're getting.
Yeah.
And
this is not regulated. This is black market.
It's black market and it's regulated by the administration or whatever. But it's been going on for a long time now. So I'm not blaming current, but the stem cells, it all comes from like fetal stem cells. And then you've got the abortion debate. And then you've got all, it just becomes this mess.
Yeah.
And other countries don't feel the same way about that in terms of using like fetus stem cells. But in order for a stem cell to become a skin cell, it has to be an activated stem cell.
Okay.
It is illegal to activate stem cells in the United States, with the exception of, I think, a bone marrow transplant. I think there's a cardiology procedure that it's legally allowed to do it. So all the stem cells in the world, it's like drinking collagen to repair your skin. Like, how do you know how does the collagen know to go from your stomach to your crow's feet to fix them?
Right.
It doesn't.
Okay.
So it has to be an activated stem cell in order for it to become a skin cell, in order for it to repair skin issues. And it's illegal to do. But people will put it on packaging.
Mm.
And then my question is always, like, how do you keep that stable on a shelf at Walmart? Like, how is that stem cell
right
in a plastic bottle at Sephora?
Right.
And you're going to put it on your face,
Yeah.
and it's going to fix you.
Next to Makeup by Mario.
Right.
Okay. The final thing I would love for you, you've been so generous with your time, first of all. So thank you. This is so nice of you. It's so comprehensive. I've really indulged myself in all these questions. So thank you. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states. I am dying for you to talk a little bit on surgery.
Sure.
Because, I think that there's a lot of attention right now to $150,000 facelifts, starting $150,000. And, there's a lot of hype around deep plane. For people who are interested in this stuff, it can kind of feel just like really depressing because you think, okay, well, I need to save $150,000, $200,000 maybe someday by the time I'm ready for that. I also need to send my kids to college. I also need to save for retirement. I also have a life to pay for.
I want to go on safari.
Right, exactly. So I think it can feel super depressing to see those numbers on Instagram. And they get a lot of hype and they drive a lot of beauty news cycle, I would call it.
Sure.
Anyway, I saw on your page you were saying that your friend is getting a deep plane.
I'm getting a facelift.
You've shared that you are getting one in January. And then your friend is going as well. Deep plane, like all the things.
She has a deep plane, my oldest friend. She has a deep plane face and neck lift scheduled, a brow lift.
Yeah.
And an upper and lower bluff, and a CO2 laser.
And you said this was how much?
Like $30,000.
Okay, how is this possible?
Well, if you
in the United States,
it would be $150,000.
Okay, and so I think this is what,
or probably not. It would probably be $90,000.
Obviously, you're a person who takes immaculate care of yourself,
and I can afford the $250,000.
Right, like if there was a difference, you would get it.
Yeah,
and you're not getting it.
Yep.
You're getting a facelift that's costing sub 30.
Mine would be, and I pay for surgeries.
Yeah,
so like I'm not, I paid full board for tummy tucks and breast lifts and, so because I had a brow lift a couple of years ago and because I've already had an upper bluff, I'm subtract those two things from my cost. So mine would come in at like 22 or 23 or something like that.
I mean, this is,
and he just raised his prices.
Shockingly more affordable. And you're getting a deep plane, right?
Yeah. Deep plane, face and neck. And then I'll probably do a CO2
face and neck. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is like a world's difference. And again, like you could afford to do the celebrity one.
I can.
And so, but you're not doing that.
No.
How have you psychologically been able to like, because I think that so many people will fall into the trap of like, it's my face. Like, and even like basically like if it costs more, it's better.
Well, I mean, so there's that argument, right?
Yeah.
And I probably fall guilty of that argument in fashion.
For sure.
Right. So like,
price is the biggest indicator of quality to the consumer in the US. That was one of the key things I learned when I worked at a fashion brand.
So I'll argue all day long that my jeans are better because, they're Nilly Lotan and she just makes a better jean.
Yeah.
But there's a price tag applied to that. The difference is with doctors, and I'll take Dr. Jacob as an example because he's excellent. And people fly in from all over the country to see him. If he lives in New Orleans, it happens to be. So there's a couple of things that we'll talk doctors in New York or LA, and none in particular, but most of them don't own the building.
Yeah.
So they have these astronomical rents, right? So, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 rents or higher, especially the bigger the facility. If there's a surgery center attached to it, I mean, you have these massive overhead rents. And then you have these big staffs. So Dr. Jacob owns, like Patrick owns the building his practice is in. Dr. Jacob owns the building his practice is in. So you're immediately...
The overhead is a lot lower.
Is a lot lower. You still have staffing, nursing care, 24-hour, all of that. And he has a couple of surgeons there. But, difference of fashion designers is they're not required to do a certain amount of schooling, right? In order to become a fashion designer. Right. In order to become a plastic surgeon, it is an arduous, very long, you have medical school, you have residency. A lot of them do, general surgery residencies, and then they'll go back and do plastics, or they'll do fellowships. Christian, is ENT facial plastic, so he did an ENT residency.
That's Dr. Jacob.
Yeah,
sorry. Okay.
So he did, an ENT, board certified there, and then they go on to do, facial plastics fellowships. And I'm probably getting some of that wrong, but there's a very long path to get to where they're at. They all take it.
Right.
They all take it.
Right.
So we can look at, the hot doctor of, Miami right now. They also had to complete medical school residency fellowships, et cetera, in order to get where they are. Fashion designers can have not a day of training and create something that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's such a good way to put it. It's like there's actually a very strict...
You have to hit certain benchmarks in order. Like Derm is one of the hardest residencies to get.
Yeah.
The easier ones are, OB and family medicine, I think, and stuff like that. But your hardest ones are, plastics, ophthalmology, radiology, derm. I'm going to miss some. Neurology, I'm sure, is a tough one. And so you're already at the top of the top, right? For med school, sort of where you're at in order to get to these places to begin with. And so then beyond that, the education is Patrick did a year in surgery first before he did derm. And so they're all sort of on a level playing field in terms of the education that they had to. Now, some go on to do extra fellowships and things like that. And then it comes down to a lot to skill level, where you live. One of the biggest indicators of price is zip code.
Right.
So if Dr. Jacob lived here, he'd be a lot more expensive. But no one's paying $150,000 for a facelift in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But everybody sees them. And people, the very wealthy elite of New Orleans don't travel. Most of them don't travel to New York. They don't have to.
Right.
You have somebody that's, Tulane undergrad, Tulane med, residency, fellowship.
Right.
Why wouldn't you go to him?
Right.
And there's a lot of really well-trained doctors, but they're everywhere.
Right. So it just comes down to finding a really good, well-trained doctor in an area that's not a super high cost of living area.
Yeah. I mean, New Orleans is an interesting place for derm and plastics. It's one of for derm for a long time, it was the top 5 market in the country.
Okay.
It was New York, LA, Miami, Dallas, New Orleans. I think now Baton Rouge has taken the 5th place. So that corridor, the reason why is we have a couple of medical schools down there.
Yeah.
They're great. They both have residency programs in derm and in plastics and things like that. And then we catch a lot of talent, because the schools are Tulane's, fantastic. It's cheaper to live in New Orleans. So people stay.
Yeah.
So you have, doctors from all over that come and they don't leave. So we have this unbelievable pool of talent down there, and we're lucky for it. There's tougher cities. People will ask me every once in a while, like, if I want to bluff, I live in Atlanta. And I'm like, Atlanta to me is not always the easiest city. Or there's cities that are easier than others that are sort of better known for plastics than others. But the fact of the matter is there's a good plastic surgeon. I would say this with a fair amount of confidence. There's a good plastic surgeon in every major city. You can get a great tummy tuck or a breast lift or a facelift or whatever. I don't know that you can get a great nose in every city.
Okay.
I do think that's really specialized at times.
Yeah.
I put a lot of people, or I don't put, but a lot of people I know got on planes for noses.
Yeah.
They go to Dallas. There's a guy in Dallas that people really like. And there's definitely people up here. But I asked Dr. Jacob, I was like, are we going to charge $100,000? And he said, I would never do it.
Oh, really?
And his reasoning was really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't want to get him in trouble, but his reasoning was really interesting. He said, you start charging, you get a couple high profile patients, elevates your profile. you elevate your prices to meet the now
Demand.
elevated profile, right? And he said, so you start charging 100, 200,
right,
stuff like that. I've seen some quotes. I saw a quote, somebody sent me their quote for $315,000 from a doctor in Beverly Hills. And it was the wildest quote I've ever seen, like custom tear trough implants, custom nasolabial fold implants.
Oh my gosh.
Endotine ribbons. Like, it was just all the stuff. So he said, you get very accustomed to charging these huge amounts. And he said, I've done revisions. You name the major, the popular surgeon out there, he has done a revision.
He's needed a revision on his work.
Yeah, the patients will come see him for
a revision. Yeah, because I mean that's the thing is, like, all these doctors, no one's God, no one's perfect. They're gonna have things that mess up, and like they're going to, excuse me, like
they're going to.
There's going to be a percentage of their results that are not as good as other results, and that is just, you are kind of rolling the dice. Everyone rolls the dice when they get a procedure, right? I've had work done, like you roll the dice and you hope it works out, and you try to stack the cards in your favor. There are certain things you can do, but no surgeon can guarantee that it's all going to come out perfect. And like every surgeon has revisions that are necessary from their work.
So, the stuff that we talk about, and I've, interviewed him for my page, and he said, no doctor ever, they always put the most dramatic before on their page. And then, so the after is just mind blowing.
Yeah.
He's like, they don't tend to put just an average 50-year-old.
Right.
Like, he's like, I want to see just the average 50-year-old.
Right.
Like, what is somebody with a little bit of laxity? That's not going to blow your mind with the results.
It's not going to be a mother-daughter transformation.
Right. Yeah. And those are always huge, right?
Yeah.
Like, or grandmother to granddaughter. Like, they age back 40 years. But he said, that's no one put, like, a lot of those guys don't put up average patients. Right. They put up pretty extreme patients. Right. So, for kind of the shock value, and just people are really impressed.
Right.
And then secondly, no one ever puts up a problematic case.
Right, exactly.
Like, I had a bad case today. Here's how I fixed it.
Right.
He's like, which is what I would want to know. Is like, well, if you fuck it up,
right,
what did you do?
Right.
How do we fix it? And he said, so he's historically not on Instagram, doesn't care. He's like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple of pictures, but they're old. And, he said, because it's just not, a lot of what you see out there is just not reality in terms of what the average woman looks like.
So interesting.
So the average woman looks like you or me, or, walking down the street. They have a little bit of laxity. They're starting to get some early jowling. They have, more prominent nasolabial folds, but, their faces aren't hanging to here.
Right.
And you see, like, same with breast lifts and tummy tucks. A lot of times there's one, doctor whose page that I love, who puts up like pretty average patients. And it's like, when I tell people their best referral for a plastic surgeon is their dermatologist.
Okay.
So,
wait, this is such useful information.
So every derm has plastics that they work with.
Yeah.
Because every patient, eventually, I go to see, I'm a great example. Botox wasn't working well in my forehead anymore. In order for my forehead to be smooth, my brow had to be dropped.
Okay.
If I wanted my brow elevated, I was going to have like a Wi-Fi signal over one eye. And Patrick said, you're done. Like, go see Christian. Like, I can't help you anymore.
Okay.
Every derm worth anything has.
For a brow lift.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, you're done. We are done with Botox. You need a brow lift. Get out of, go schedule with him. So every dermatologist has plastics that they work with. And they'll have a referral base of, I want a liquid nose job. No, go see, a real nose job.
Right.
They all have somebody that they refer to for facelifts or tummy tucks or whatever. And they're going to refer you to, in your town, who they think the best is.
Yeah.
Because they want you happy and they want you to come back.
Right.
And return to practice, like, satisfied with your results. So when people ask me, like, how do I find a good surgeon? I'm like, ask your derm. Like, like, I mean, you can fly down and see mine. I guess he's great. But like, at the same time, just ask your dermatologist.
Yeah.
Like,
one thing I will say also is get a couple consults, because I went to a very popular Upper East Side plastic surgeon. Yeah, she's a plastic surgeon. She has a lot of injectables though as well. And she kind of like did this whole like facial diagnosis for me.
Yeah.
And everything was wrong. And
of course, we're going to balance everything.
Yeah, balance everything.
Yeah.
I had a recessed chin. I had like all these problems I had no idea about. I needed threads. And so I got Botox from her. It was so expensive, but I never went back to her. But anyway, that day I was like, oh, kind of asking about the Bella Hadid brow lift, cat eye look.
Fox.
I was just, I was like, what could we do? Could we get that vibe? Could we get that look or whatever? And she was like, yeah, it'll be $30,000 and we can do a brow lift and a blepharoplasty and we can basically book that in 2 weeks.
My brow lift was
$15,000 for each was her quote.
Yeah, for New York.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I was 8 and for Bleph was 65.
Right.
I don't know that's
right
what everybody wants to pay, but
totally.
I've heard of worse.
My point though is I had another consult and then I abandoned this idea because the surgeon said to me, he said, well, your brows are at a good position. And he said, you don't actually have much extra skin at all on your eyelids. And so he said, you're not ready yet for any of that. And he said, also, it's such a major surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it's going to be millimeters of difference. It's going to last 5 to 7 years. And you're going to go through all this for something people probably won't even notice. And it was just such an ethical consultation versus like, how can I squeeze every dollar from you? And so I do think like getting multiple opinions is really useful. You're going to see who's there in a mercenary way and who's there really to help people and to do great work. So
I think the best thing that you can be told is no.
Mm-hmm.
Like the surgeon that tells you no is your surgeon.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And I tell this story a lot. I walked into Dr. Jacobs' office at 39.
Okay.
I was turning 40, freaking out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I need a facelift. And it's always this on me that I hate.
Okay.
Right? So there's like a crease and it's whatever. I see it. And I walked into his office and he walks in and he has this sort of like grand old Southern, it's in this old Southern mansion.
Okay.
Right. So there's this beautiful space. And I'm sitting at this very long, like dining table. That's his desk or whatever. And he looks at me and he's like, what are you doing here? Because I know him. And I was like, and it's this, it's this, it's all this, it's so bad. I'm turning 40 and I'm freaking out. And he said to me, okay, I see it. I know what you're talking. I can see it. It's awful, right? And I was like, it's terrible. I hate it. And he said, yeah, let's get you scheduled. Like, we'll do it. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And he's like, where would you like the incision and the scar? I'm like, well, I want it, like here, like where, I don't know, where is it hidden?
Right.
And he's like, oh, well, we're not going to do that. And I was like, why? He said, we don't have enough skin. He's like, but if you want the incision to be right here, let's get you scheduled.
Right.
And I was like, no, I don't, I want it back here. And he's like, you go home.
Right.
Like you are not ready.
Mm-hmm.
There are 39-year-olds out there that are ready.
For sure.
Absolutely. It used to be faceless, no faceless before 50. That was like the old adage. There are definitely 39-year-olds out there, who weight loss or genetics or whatever that are candidates. But he sent me home every year.
Wow. Okay.
For 7 years.
Yeah.
Like he was like, and it's always very funny and nice, but he's like,
it's got to be a little bit of a relief too.
Yeah, go home.
Yeah.
And then this year it was like, let's actually do it now.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So, but the best thing you can be told is no.
Yeah, for sure.
And I tell people all the time from a derm point of view or plastics point of view or anything, you can shop for a yes.
Mm-hmm.
You can, someone will operate on you.
Someone will do it for sure.
Someone will take your money and cut your face open or cut your body open. They will do it.
Yeah.
But the best thing the doctors that tell you no are the doctors that you want to keep, on file in your contacts as the ones to call in a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
It's the doctor that's like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Right. Especially like the doctor who will do it and potentially you're not a candidate yet. And so what kind of results are you going to get?
Minimal, if any.
And you're going to go through all this and pay all this money. And I don't know. It's all so much. And my sister and I have this like kind of rule where basically unless something bothers us every day, we just don't think it's like worth going under the knife to resolve.
I think that's great. I mean, the other idea is that if it's something that comes and goes, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So people, have worse laxity some days than others.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
I didn't know it was something that could come and go.
I think based on how dehydrated your skin is, or how, if you're sleep deprived or traveling or eating too much salty food, or, so there are days that I think you can look in the mirror and, your dark circles look worse than other days, or,
right.
This feels tighter on certain days than others. And I think kind of a good rule of thumb is if it's really consistent every day.
Right.
And it looks the same, like if your nasolabial folds are grooved every day.
Yeah.
And it's not, I slept on my face wrong, or, or I haven't had, anything but alcohol for a month. But like if it's something that just shows up every day.
Yeah.
Maybe go see someone.
For nasolabial
surgery.
Oh, it's facelift, basically.
Facelift.
That's it. Oh, brutal.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen them filled.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can look weird. It gets weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it can migrate. You move your mouth, or not you, but like people move their mouths a lot.
Yes.
It can get weird.
Yeah.
Like it can, migrate outwards, and it gets strange. You can't fill a fold.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to tell people.
Yeah.
Like you can fill a temple,
mm-hmm.
which is, a dent, kind of an indentation from fat loss. As you get older, people get peanut head.
Yeah.
You can fill that. You can fill a cheek, but you can't fill a fold.
Right. Right.
Like, so when people are like, how do I fill? Like when they start, neither of us have it, but like the marionette lines, here and here, and it's kind of grooved in.
Mm-hmm.
You can fill a lip.
Yeah.
But you can't fill a fold.
Okay, question. Lip lift. Ever something to do? The scar in the middle of the face is so crazy.
I don't know. Two things on that. People heal how they heal, right?
Yeah.
So they scar how they scar. There are things you can do to make scars better and increase your chances of healing well. Silicone tapes, creams, gels, sunscreens, stuff like that. You're still going to scar how you scar. If you keloid, you keloid. There's not often a lot you can do about that. Do you want to learn how you scar on the middle of your face?
Right, right. Well, and you can scar differently. It's not like you can have one scar on one part. I mean, yeah, like you can have one scar that's fine.
Do you want to learn how your face scars on the middle of your face?
Right.
So, I don't know. I've seen some good lip lifts out there. I think, my opinion, it depends a lot on the shape of your nose.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be a candidate. I'd be a terrible candidate because you can see all the way underneath my nose when you look at me. I think people that have a more...
You also have you would never need it though also.
I'm really short right now. Yeah, but people get long.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, that used to be how Patrick would guess people's age. It's like the length of...
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it, if you have not a more prominent nose, just the shape of your nose tends to go downward and covers that
area.
I think,
can be a better candidate.
Mm-hmm. There's, Bethany Frankel's out there.
You think she's had one?
Oh, for sure. You can see the scar.
Crazy. I mean, it looks pretty good then.
She looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good, but you can definitely see the scar there. I can't swear that she's had one.
Right, for sure.
But it looks like she's had one because this got remarkably shorter.
Oh, it did. Oh, I need to look.
Yeah. And it looks good, but I think it's one of those things that you have to be prepared to have makeup on if you scar poorly.
Right.
If you scar there poorly. And then the other question is, how does that scar age over time?
Yeah.
So gravity kicks in. Does that scar stretch?
Mm-hmm.
And so are you dealing with scar tissue and a scar that's starting
now several millimeters?
Right.
Yeah.
And we don't know because the lip lift is fairly new.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it look like in 20 years?
Yeah. Well, and also I just think that, I spend way too much time thinking about this stuff, but I think it's really something for someone who is has a it's super long, they're much older. To get Instagram face is just psychosis to me,
Like you can't get there. Patrick has patients that bring their phones in with Facetune photos of themselves.
They're like, do this.
And they're like, I want to look like this. And he's like, well, then keep doing that. Like, I can't, that's not realistic on on any plane. And then he starts wondering, in all honesty and in a very caring way, like, are these people okay? Like, does this person have an understanding of the limitations of medicine?
Right.
And the limitations of, what does reality really look like if, you know, when you're looking at a filter, and we all do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm no stranger to cleaning up like a zit or a shadow or
For
whatever.
sure.
I'm not going to let somebody's bad angle or, you know, somebody's broken out ruin a photo that they would ordinarily love. So, you know, you kind of ding it out. But, you know, he'll come home some days, you know, disturbed.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't understand what's going on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do, but I thought that people filter their photos to put a better version of themselves out there, because the iPhones are mean. I mean, they're fucking mean.
For sure.
And they're sharp. They're overly sharp. They're mean. The angles are weird. The lens is strange. And, you know, he was like, I thought, you know, people would filter them to sort of cover, you know, to sort of alter back or to make up for how shitty the iPhone does the selfies.
Right.
It's been very eye-opening for him that people filter them, and that's how they identify now.
Right. They think
as that image. They only recognize themselves as that image.
Mm-hmm.
And they want that image to become reality. And
Mm-hmm.
you actually can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't create skin that looks like that.
Right.
You can't.
Well, and that's where it like gets so, I think, so much of an issue when we see the Kris Jenner after photo, and it's like there's also an AI filter on this.
I'm big on Getty images.
Yeah.
Like, I love to go to Getty, find the original photo if I can, click on it because they're not edited, and like, let's put them side by side. Like, and look, she looks good.
Right, for sure.
She doesn't look like that.
Right.
And I think that that's true of a lot of celebrities. And I think that that's also when you start talking about these $250,000 facelifts, you know, and you look at Kris Jenner, who looks great, but you go get the $250,000 facelift and you pay her doctor and you don't look like that.
Right. You don't look like an AI filter.
Because she's not. So there's,
she doesn't look,
she's
really
not
look
honest.
Like that.
I mean, she's honest. Yeah, great. You got a facelift. I appreciate the honesty, but be all the way honest.
Right. Right.
Because people look at them and look at celebrities and go, you know, well, they can afford, I can afford what they can afford. So why don't I look like that? Because they're not totally honest. It's not like, hey, prior to that facelift, I had a brow lift and I had a bluff. Also, I do a resurfacing laser once a fucking year.
Right.
Sorry, language, once a year. And I have a chef and a trainer, and I stay out of the sun, and I pay people to follow me around carrying umbrellas. I also did that in order to get here. And then there's the filter.
Right.
And
there's a filter on top of that.
On top of
the
$150,000 I did prior to my $250,000 facelift. On top of that, I've still applied a filter.
I mean, this is just a very banal, obvious point, but I just think that the world of social media is so dangerous because we're all just like interfacing with things that A, aren't real, but B, are such like a better version of us and then a worse version of us, like in the way that people will be so cruel to each other on social media and have fights over certain topics and things. Like, I think the more we can stay in the real world and look at people who have real results in the real world and talk about issues in the real world, how we would actually talk to someone's face, the more sane we will be. But the more we're in this realm that's everything is so extreme in every way.
The keyboard courage out there is.
Yeah, like you would never talk to someone that way.
Emily Blunt's facelift.
Oh, yeah.
Which I thought looked great.
I think she looks beautiful.
It's fresh.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty fresh. And I don't know totally what she did. We're all guessing. I think she looks fantastic, but it looks like a facelift and
right. She's had a little
fat transfer and,
for sure,
and to her cheeks. And I posted it, and the amount of DMs that I got overwhelmingly were positive. We're like, she looks great. Love her.
Yeah.
There's a redhead too. Blah blah blah. Do you know who did it? Of course I don't. But the mean ones were so mean.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started answering. I just had a copy paste answer where I just said, man, what happened to supporting women's journeys and choices, you know, in terms of what they've decided to do? And then the immediate backtracking, like the backpedal was like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. Blah, blah, blah. So people are allowed to say this stuff. Nobody follows up. People follow up usually with an argument, right? Like, well, that's, you know, you're a jerk for saying that. And then, well, you're a jerk for questioning somebody. Like, why do you say that? Like, why would you say that in a world where you probably sit with your friends and say, women need to be better at supporting other women. And like, let's join these feminist causes and let's go support these female run charities. But man, put someone behind a keyboard where it's more anonymous.
One of my favorite accounts is called He's So Mid, and it's this girl, and she just talks about, she just says like men's reactions to, do you see this?
Yes.
To Hailey Bieber or whatever it is.
And then zooms in on the picture of them.
Like, and then the comments are just vile. Like, would never hit
turn
that.
Down worse, turn down better than that. Turn down better than that was one of my favorites. And then they zoom in on him. And he looks like Shrek.
It is truly a creature. It's an incel where we are. I actually didn't even refer to the person as a person. I said it. I mean, these are such trolls. And the digital world is a very scary world.
So with my tummy tuck, I do subscribers on my page. I don't know about your page. I imagine it's worse than mine in this respect, but I can get hundreds of DMs a day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Right.
Hundreds. And there's no way, the way that, they come in randomly, they come in order. And there are people that have followed me for years and they get lost in the shuffle. And so I said, I'm going to do subscribe. It's like $2. Don't subscribe. It's fine. It doesn't matter to me. But if you want to have the conversation, you want your questions answered, that's the way I do it.
Yeah.
And they all go in one folder or one inbox. And I operate out of that inbox every single day. And when I had a tummy tuck, surgery is invasive. And I've recovered from CO2s for tens of thousands of people and a breast lift for tens of thousands of people and a bleph and a brow lift. The tummy tuck got weird for me because the before was really gnarly.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh no, I want to do this
totally.
in front of like the world every single day. So I did it only for subscribers.
Okay.
And I figured, I think it's like $36 or whatever a year. I figured I'm going to save you $36 on an eye cream.
Right.
And so whatever. And it doesn't matter to me who subscribes or not. But there are people out there that like to have that conversation every day.
Yeah.
They want to check in and, hey, Mel,
Yeah.
And after reading all of these negative comments about Emily Blunt, I was like, oh, I am definitely not sharing my progress.
Oh, were you going to share your
every day
the facelift progress? Yep. And now you're not.
I don't think so. People were brutal.
I don't think you should. And to be honest,
I'll share it for the select group that I did for my tummy tuck.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the mean comments, not one was from a subscriber. Not one was someone who's part of the conversation every day on that page. Mm-hmm. It was all from like accounts that I'm like, people are mean.
People are really mean. And what I have found is that it's a little bit of like, I had one procedure I don't talk about because it just feels private. And I had another procedure, which is my boobs. And I did share that. Like it was always, people were so upset. Not everyone. Most listeners are super generous. It's just the loud, onerous ones can be the ones that unfortunately are the most top of mind. But anyway, that are upset. Anyway, so I shared my boobs and then I got in trouble for flaunting plastic surgery. So it's like you're either not transparent or you're bragging. And I don't know. I just think that I think you're already sharing so much information. Like
I'll do the broad strokes for everyone.
The broad strokes.
Like here was my before, guys.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Here's me a month later. Because I do think that there's value to educating men as well, but like educating women on expectations.
Right.
A couple of reasons why. One, it helps them temper theirs.
Yeah.
In terms of what's possible by medicine.
Yeah.
Right. So I always say it's surgery. It's not a time machine. It's not a magic wand. It's surgery.
Right.
So I think oftentimes sharing my stuff helps educate women as to what they can expect, what they can look for, what a normal recovery looks like, what a fucked up recovery looks like. I've had one before that wasn't great.
Yeah.
Because I was allergic to the glue that was used.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It wasn't the surgeon's fault. We didn't know I was allergic to glue. But all the same, I shared that.
Yeah.
But people have very definite opinions on what they think you should do with your face and body. Mm-hmm. And when you don't meet their expectations or their threshold for candidacy or their threshold for whatever, they get really mean. Mm-hmm. And I always say, when that happens, I'm like, look, you're not required to follow this page.
Yeah.
Log off.
Right.
Log off. See ya.
Yeah.
But it does make even people like me second guess, like, what am I willing to put out there into the world? Because people, you know, they can be brutal. I mean, you see what they say to celebs, they'll say the same to you or me.
Right. No, and I think a line I really draw with the followers on the Instagram account is like, basically if you reply, because we'll, put up celebrity photos all the time.
Yeah.
If you reply with negative comment about a woman's appearance, like, I just block you. Like, I don't need to hear how you think her knees tell the full story, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good on your toxic inner monologue. Like, I actually don't need your follow. Like, that's my favorite thing too, is when they're like, I am unfollowing. And it's like, and you won't be missed. Right? Like, this will never impact my life, actually.
I think that there's a certain amount of self-importance that people give themselves as people who comment online, you know, if they follow the page.
Right.
Therefore, they're entitled to, right? They're entitled to be cruel, or they're entitled to, you know, give their opinion. And you are, but you're also entitled to being blocked or being removed as a follower or being restricted. So I'm a big restrictor.
Yeah,
like, I'll restrict comments. I'll restrict people so they don't know that they've been restricted. But like, you're not going to put that out there in the world. And I feel like I've worked really hard on this page to try and create a community where if you go after another follower in the comments,
right,
I'm going to intervene and be the mom.
Yeah.
And I've done it. I'm like, hey guys, we're not going to do this here.
Right.
So, like, take it offline.
Right.
Like, kids.
Oh my gosh.
You know, take it outside.
Right.
Whatever. But we're not doing this in the comment section of this page.
Have you ever got someone mad that you deleted a comment? Because I'll get like, they're deleting comments now. And I'm like, the comment section is not the blockchain. On our page, if you write something super toxic, we're going to delete it.
So I'll say this. I've been very lucky. I rarely get a bad comment. I had one.
Oh, we get them all day.
I had one where I reviewed a sunscreen that I loved, and it was scented. And this woman just hated it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I get it.
Right.
But she commented her opinion.
Yeah.
Every time somebody was like, oh my God, it's my favorite, she would comment, it's the worst.
Oh my gosh.
It smells like garbage.
Oh my gosh.
And I finally sent her a DM. I restricted her. I didn't even remove her as a follower. I didn't block her. Yeah. I restricted her. And I sent her a DM that said, hey, I'm going to have to restrict you. You are entitled to your opinion. You are entitled to dislike that sunscreen one time.
Right.
But following up on every person where they're like, oh my gosh, it gave me the prettiest glow, la la la. And she's like, it'll ruin you. And I'm just like, and like the all caps, and like, I was just like, and I know you can't infer tone from text, but like, you could. And she was so offended that I restricted her behavior on a page that is mine.
Right.
Like, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I have made a comment a couple times. Well, I look forward to you hosting your own page.
Right.
Where you talk about how much you hate the sunscreen.
Right.
Like, I can't wait. I'll be your first follow. Why don't you go host I hate blah, blah, blah.com.
Right.
And like, go hate on it. But there are people that get so angry for whatever reason, and they're just sort of unrelenting. But for the most part, she's the only one I can think of that I've really had to like,
yeah.
For the most part, I don't know if it's the tone and tenor of the page. I don't know if I come across as like, don't cross me. I don't know.
Right.
I behave. I don't know if it's my personality.
I think a lot of it happened. I mean, a lot of the craziness happened when we had a viral moment. And then you just kind of, when you're pushed out to that many people, you just have like, once we hit a certain amount, it was just, there's just always going to be that 0.01% that are.
Yeah. I mean, the most comments I get, the most negative comments I get, they're always in DMs, is if I post about a celebrity.
Oh, really?
If I post about a celebrity, good or bad, like if I post, you know, something like not my favorite look or not my favorite whatever, or if I post something positive.
Yeah.
It's almost always the positive ones that get the most negative feedback.
Yeah.
Because people want to be contrary to you, no matter what it is. And so the Emily Blunt thing, she looks like a freak. She looks like a Kardashian.
I know, it's so sad.
She looks like and I tried to address a few of them, and I said, here's me trying to educate, right? Facelifts, don't judge them for a year, right? That's the rule. You're swollen. People swell at different rates. They heal at different rates. The swelling goes down at different rates. She still has to go to work. So I remember an Adriana Lima. Do you remember that?
Yeah. She got the fat transfer. People were really not happy.
I mean, they were so, and I was like, guys, it's a fat transfer. It takes a minute.
Right.
She still has to go to work.
Right.
You wouldn't do that. But she's still
Exactly.
showing her face in public and saying, here I am, knowing that you guys are going to tear her apart.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Emily Blunt. Like, she still has to go to the Venice
Right.
Film Festival or Toronto or wherever she was. Like, they have to go to work. They have a job to do. You expect them to entertain you.
Right.
You expect them. You want to go see The Devil Wears Prada too. She's got to do the press tour for it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. Right.
Like, stop being mean to her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people consider that when it comes to like high profile people and facelifts are worked in. It takes a long time to heal from it.
I think there's this, I don't know if misnomer is the right word, but there's this thing where people think that your work should return you to 25. And it's like, no, it's going to make you look like, I think it's going to make people generally look better for their age. And it's like, it's not something where it's going to, you're literally turn back time, but people, they like criticize a look that's like done. Like Emily Blunt to me looks done,
Yep.
but beautifully. And like, that's a great look to me. Like we can't all be 25 forever. So would I rather eventually look beautifully done rather than like letting nature take its course? Yeah, I kind of would.
I'm done. This is all done on me. like this. And by the way, this didn't look this good at 25.
Like those are kind of the options we have. And I actually don't think it's a bad one. I think like these people look beautiful.
That's a whole conversation. I mean, the people are like the undetectable facelift. Oh, none of it is undetectable.
Right, exactly.
I detect they all had work done. It's really good work.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, Lindsay Lohan.
We all detected it immediately.
Nothing like Lindsay Lohan.
Right.
She's beautiful, whoever she is. But that doesn't look like Lindsay Lohan to me. You know, it's Lindsay Lohan post
completely
plastic
and
surgery
looks amazing.
And oh, she looks amazing.
Yeah.
There's no surgery that can put her.
And she doesn't look 25. Like
No,
she looks like a beautiful.
She looks 40.
She looks beautiful at her age, which is like I think a great thing to feel and to be. And anyway, it just that
it's a bizarre the expectation. And again, you try to temper expectations when you talk about procedures and things like that. You know, we can laser you and get your skin back 10 years.
Yeah,
we can.
Interesting.
We can do that.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, laxity in my face aside, I probably have the skin of someone 10 years younger from a perspective of how clear it is or whatever. We can laser you back, but like once you start lifting and cutting and sewing, you're going to look lifted, cut, and sewn.
Well, I mean, and also like Anne Hathaway, I think people would say she's like would be the poster child for the undetectable facelift.
No, you know who my favorite is?
Who?
Jessica Chastain.
Oh, did she get a good one?
Oh my gosh, I have a split screen on my phone. God, I love hers.
Yeah.
Like if you look back a couple of years to today.
I mean, she's such an amazing face to begin with.
I mean, whoever did it, don't know what she did.
So beautiful. Yeah.
But her facelift is my favorite.
Right.
Hers, Charlize Theron had a good one. I think Angelina Jolie had a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked what you said when you said on Instagram, you were like, I don't want this to be something people can't tell happened.
I want them to say, oh my God.
She looks so snatched.
She looks amazing.
Totally.
Like, I don't want people to wonder whether or not.
Right.
Like, are her gels better? I don't know. Are they? I don't know. I mean, they look a little bit better. I want people to go, like,
damn,
dude, did you see her? And Dr. Jacob said this to me, which is interesting. He said, we all do this. Or you guys all do this. And he's like, men do it too. But like, it's women. We look in the mirror and we do this. And he said, it's not this movement. We're not doing this. We're not fixing this.
Okay.
This is really fascinating to me. He said, think of it as like a mask that's slipping. He said, it's not this, it's this.
Yeah.
It's moving like the entire kind of unit back. So he's like, almost think of it like a medical mask, you know, that's starting to slide down your face. He said, it's not this movement, it's this movement. So he's like, if you're going to do this in the mirror, you know, you want to do this. Lift it all at the same time.
Yeah.
Don't lift this because it doesn't change what this looks like. And that's not reality either.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that everyone needs to follow Mrs. Derm. Honestly, you're just such a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
I am obsessed with your page. I love it because I know every time your story bubble pops up that it's like actually going to be useful information that I feel like it provides value, and even the way you write is like so funny and to the point. And so anyway, everyone go follow Mrs. Derm, follow Melissa on Instagram. I will definitely keep people updated on how the Coleman compound. I will let you know. I'll send you pics. Fingers crossed. And thank you so much for being here. I mean,
thank you for having me.
We've been chatting for so long, so thank you, truly. All right, you guys. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Is this thing on? I'm Caitlin Bristow, host of Off the Vine podcast, where I get real. Well, maybe a little too real sometimes, with my friends and celeb guests from Bachelor franchise and beyond. I'm talking guests like Jonathan Van Ness, Nikki Glazer, Wells Adams, Elise Myers,
just like in this like business jacket, like I would love some tacos.
Heidi D'Amelio, Big Brother's Taylor Hale.
I have to bring it up because it happened and we're going to get through it.
What'd I do?
And so many more. So come hang out with us, hear ridiculous confessions, and get a little vulnerable because you know what? We're all just floating on this weird little planet together. Follow, rate, and review Off the Vine podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts.
This November, action is free on Pluto TV. Go on the run with Jack Reacher.
Every suspect was a train killer.
Then buckle up for Drive, World War Z.
Every human being we save is one less to fight.
And Charlie's Angels.
Damn, I hate to fly.
Launch into sci-fi adventure with The Fifth Element and laugh through the mayhem in Tropic Thunder.
What is going on here?
All the thrills, all for free. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.